Sometimes it's soft as a mystic rain. Other times it feels like a hurricane. I got a feeling that you and we can make the pain go away and shower each other with love. Let me ride the wave while you call me back. Surfboard, hang ten, baby, gripping on your headboard. Come save the day. Let me ride your wave. 'Cause there's something about you that keeps the river flowing. And I simply love you.
Deep end, stuck without a paddle. Overcame a battle with the man in my shadow. Never really was into love, I just dabbled. Things get deep when you stop being shallow. So you gotta find you the right one. Not the baddest, you try and find happiness or some status. I seen people lose the one, and it's tragic. It was only fun while it lasted. See, I had to learn on my own, and I'm happy for my lesson. Happy that I recognize your worth is a blessing. Happy that you see that my effort ain't the same. 'Cause you the one I wanted, that ain't never gonna change.
When I say your name, you simply lose control. When you say my name, oh, I simply lose control. Say my name, say my name, say yours, say your name, say your name, say my name, say my name, say yours, say your name, say your name, say
It's the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Sion 919. I'm hoping everybody having a special day today. I'm excited about our next guest. Very talented singer, songwriter. I've been following her for a long time. She stayed consistent. She's been doing her thing. So for those that know, without any further ado, let's bring her to the stage. She goes by the name of Rachel Belly. How you feeling today?
And the crowd goes, ah. What's
dope,
happening? Yo? How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm good. Yo, I'm excited about you being on the show, yo. So let's talk about that first one right there. Say My Name. You got you one with that.
Thank you.
What inspired this song? What inspired that?
You know what's crazy is that the producer is actually from Raleigh, North Carolina, where I'm from. And so he flew out here to Denver. Wow. And we was just like, we got to get some work in. You're here. Like, let's work. So he pulled up to the studio on me. We went through a bunch of songs, and like that was the one that caught my attention. And it reminded me of my all-time favorite girl group, SWV. I don't know if you could hear that in the song, but it's that I simply lose control. That part. I was like,
down on me.
That's
Rain
mine.
down.
That's mine. Give me that.
Yeah, and you killed it. You definitely killed it. And the thing about you, yo, you have a dope style, yo. You're very professional, and you always been that way. But for the people that maybe not be familiar yet, let's take it back to the beginning. So let's let the people know where you're from originally.
So I consider myself from North Carolina, from Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where I graduated high school. I'm actually a military brat, so I was born in Germany. I moved around to like Fort Hood, Texas. I lived in Wisconsin, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, you name it. I'm here in Denver, Colorado right now, but home is North Carolina for me because that's where my family at. Like all my family is in North Carolina. That's where I graduated from. That's where I, it's where I met my best friend. So, that's home forever.
All right. And see, North Carolina in the building, yo. So you've been doing it for a while. So, yo, you definitely have that soul. You definitely have that 90s feel with your music. You don't sound like a lot of people out there. So let me ask you about your early inspirations what were some of the people that you looked up to when you was younger?
I mean, well, definitely my dad, because my dad was a singer. So like he was
Wow.
touring, he was in the studios. I was up in the studios with him. I was backstage with him. So when I saw that, that was like, oh, I want to do that. Like that's cool, you know.
Right.
But you know, I grew up with great music in my house. You know, I grew up bad boy for life. You feel me? Like
All right.
I was in the house, little kid, listening to Biggie Smalls. Um, you know, we're on the east side, so
Right.
I wasn't too familiar with Tupac back then, so I was listening to Biggie Smalls, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, SWV.
Right.
You know, Aaliyah was one of my all-time favorite, is still one of my all-time favorite singers, as well as Maya. She's a big one for me. I mean, Brandy,
Right.
Monica, you name it. Like that's me. Like I'm a '90s kid, so
Yo, I feel you. And you naming some big names right there, yo. And the
yeah.
music that they was dropping was classic. So let me ask you, around what age did you first start singing?
I've been singing since I can remember. I mean,
Wow.
in the car,
Right.
in the back seat, in the car seat. That's when I started singing. But
Wow.
I started taking everything seriously. I mean, I started performing when I was like around the age of 13, 16 years old.
Wow.
That's when I did the Raleigh Wide Open when I was that I'm not gonna, you know, put too much age on me. But
Nah, I feel you.
but I had just started really taking my music very very seriously about like 5 years ago, like really getting into artist development and finding who I am as an artist, like really digging deep and being able to just let loose and be like, this is me, like you get what you get. You
Right.
rocking with me or not, big gang.
I feel you on that, yo. And the thing about it, like, yo, like you said, you started a little young, but it's like
Mhm.
it's also like the Monicas. Like you named Monica, she started young.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
definitely have a mature sound with you. You definitely have a mature look with you as well. So it's like even back then when we first crossed paths was years ago.
Mhm.
It's like, yo, it was something that stood out about you because it's like you had like a star quality, like you were polished. So like
Thank you.
around what age did you first realize like, yo, I can do this. Like I'm gonna be a star. When did you fall in love with music?
I mean, honestly, I felt like other people, like my family and my friends, saw it before I did, to be honest. So, like, I didn't really feel that way until I found myself as an artist. And I would say that's probably a year ago that I really found my true sound to say, like, I feel comfortable with who I am. Like, I feel good in the booth. I feel like anytime you hear me on a song, you're gonna know this is me, and I don't feel boxed in, you know. I actually feel good like performing on stage and things like that. So it's crazy how that happens, is that you could be doing this for years and you might not really find yourself like
Right.
until several years later. So that's where I'm at. Like, truthfully, I really feel like I just got in my bag as of last year during quarantine, when I just had to sit with myself. I just went
Right.
through a crazy breakup, 5 years long, and like it was a whole lot of changes. I had drastic changes. I couldn't do shows. I had to
Wow.
break up. I had to take on a lot. A lot was going on. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like I had to really just sit with myself because we couldn't go nowhere. And I had
Right.
to get right with myself and figure out who I am as a person. So I really
Wow.
feel like, you know, them trials and tribulations, man, they really do contribute to who you are as a person and, you know, where you're going. So I
Yeah, that's
appreciate the journey.
and that's real right there. You said a powerful thing, sitting with yourself, having to get to know who I am. So it's like a lot of times people make the mistake, we're living lives, but we're living for other people.
That's
So
right.
what
Yeah.
what lessons did you learn in that isolation moment or that time to yourself? What lessons stood out to you the most?
Just not to be so hard on myself, judging myself. You know, I feel like a lot of times when we worry about other people judging us, it's really because we judge ourselves. You know what I mean? So I had to let that go. I had to just really just be like, you know what? You are special, girl. You real special. You've been doing this for a long time. Like, what keeps you going? And one of the things that really keeps me going is, you know, I call my fans my bays. I don't like
Right.
calling them fans because I feel like I'm a fan of my fans, so they can't really be my fans. You know what I mean? Those are my bays, and bay stands for be an example. You know what I mean? So I feel like everybody that's rocking with me is rocking with that same purpose, is being an example, and being an example is being yourself, being true to yourself, and not, you know, like I said, not being so hard and judgmental on yourself. You know what I mean? You can
Right.
you can you can rise and you can grow and you can have a little bit of criticism, critique yourself and, make little small like improvements for yourself, but you
Right.
can't be too hard on yourself because that right there is the devil. I'm telling you, like it
Wow.
will eat you alive.
Right.
So, be an example and be yourself.
Nah, that's a fact right there, and that's real. So now it makes sense because I seen it. I seen the Bay game, and I said I'm a fan, but I don't know if I can be Bay game.
Yes, you are.
But
Welcome.
then now you said I could be an example.
Absolutely.
I want to be Bay game.
Hey, look, as long as you living in an example, as long as you're gonna be an example every day, welcome to the bed game.
Yo, I appreciate you accepting me in. Yo, that's a fact right there. Gang, gang,
Gang,
gang. A whole lot of
gang.
gang stuff going on.
Right.
So, yo, all right. So let's talk about now. You first start singing out. Let's take it back to your early days. So now you're singing. When did you realize that you had the gift? I know at first you were singing, but it's like when did you realize like, yo, I'm pretty good?
I would say it's hard to say that because like I'm always trying to improve.
Right.
So I think I would say I realized that I could sing when I was my first talent show. I was in third grade and I sang
Third
the
grade.
national anthem and I won and I was the first act to go on and I was just like nervous. I feel like I blacked out on stage. I
Wow.
was just singing, but I
Right.
won and I think that's when I was like, oh, okay. I can sing
Right.
a little bit. Like I'm so little, like, and they like me.
In the
you know?
third grade. In the third grade.
Mhm.
So you had to have some confidence. You might have been a little nervous, but you had to have confidence and some kind of control and voice control to
Yeah.
win that. So you win that. That moment is like, okay, at that moment, what's going through your head? You win, you perform, you're third grade. They say you're the winner. What's running through your mind?
I was just like, I'm a superstar.
And you manifested it. You're a superstar definitely today. So it's
I'm
like
working
at third.
on it.
Yo, you're on your way, yo. You're further than a lot of
I'm on
people.
my
Yo.
way. That's right.
You definitely on your way. So let me ask you, yo. So what was your school years like? What was junior high like? What was high school? Was you always a superstar? Was you the popular girl? How was it for you?
So what's crazy is middle school, I was really bad. I was getting in fights. Yo, come on, like everybody don't like to talk about that real stuff, but
Let's
like
get
that
it.
was me. I was a little gangster, I was a little thug, and I was throwing hands and I was getting suspended and getting in trouble and stuff. And then I one day I got in real big trouble and I had to go to court. So I
Wow.
think that's when like my eighth grade year, my dad had to talk with me. He was like, all right, you're about to get in high school and they will
Right.
lock you up. And I was like, oh no, I'm not about to
I
get
ain't doing
locked
that.
up.
I ain't doing that.
So I just started like, focusing on me when I was in high school and I joined like chorus and stuff like that. I was in the band and I was just like, I'm gonna just put all this energy into music and sports. I got hurt in sports. So I think that's when
Wow.
I was called to do music. And
Right.
that's when I, started getting into performing and stuff like that. When we met, I was in high school. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's
I was
how.
a little kid.
Right. So
um,
that.
yeah,
Right.
so like that's when I was like, in high school, like I was that kid that was popular, but I didn't care to be popular. Like I was like always like at a lunch table by myself, and then all these people would just come and sit with me. I was nominated for homecoming court, and I was like,
Wow.
why? I
Right.
I put in my earbuds and I sing in the hallway, and I don't pay nobody no mind. Like I would go and study like during lunch break. I really didn't want to hang out like that, so I would go and study. I was a weed smoker.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. 420. You're still a weed smoker.
Yes, very much so.
Nah, but that's a good thing. You in Colorado and it's legal, so they
And it's
can't do
legal.
nothing
That's
about it.
right.
They can't do
That's
nothing about it. Yeah.
right.
So let me ask you. Okay, you said you used to get in some fights. So let me ask you. You was just moving. Were you the new girl, or were you the
Yeah,
pretty girl? They were picking on you. How did you
that's
get
what
in
it
most
was.
of
You
your
already
fights?
knew what it was. That's what it was. And see, I was that little kid that was like, all right, I'm little. I'm a light skinned girl. But look, I got my grandma's heart in me. Like, you ain't
Right.
about to talk to me no crazy way. You ain't about to put your hands on me neither. So
I
I
feel
was
you on
throwing
that.
hands back. I was like, no, you gonna know what's up. So
Right. Now I feel you on that. So somebody in the comments said, "What high school did you go to?" Somebody in the comments asked.
hey, I graduated from Wakefield High School,
From Wakefield.
Wolverines. But I
Yeah.
also shout out to Northern Nash High School, because I also went to Northern Nash High School in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And I
Wow.
do love me some Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I got a lot of folks out there, a lot of family out there, friends, like people that I consider family, a lot of friends out there that have been supporting me for a long time. So shout out to Rocky Mount, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Fayetteville, North
Right.
Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Charlotte, North Carolina, Lincolnton, Gastonia. What's up, all
Right.
my peoples?
I feel you on that. Yo, you definitely representing NC in a major way.
Yeah,
So, all
everywhere I
right.
go.
So now you getting in trouble in school. They tell you, all right, yo, we about to lock you up. You better get it together now. They ain't playing with you.
Get it together.
So you get to high school. You change it up. You start putting the earbuds in. You start focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
What was high school like? Were you still performing? What was going on in high school?
Yeah, high school is when I started to perform. Like I was actually singing backup for a reggae band called Crucial Fire.
Wow,
Yep.
Crucify. Salute to
Do you
Crucify.
remember them?
I remember Crucify. I
Yeah,
definitely remember.
Crucial Fire. Yeah, they was
Yes.
dope. And my
Yeah, it was.
best friend,
Wow.
Jessica, Jessica DeJour, her father was a lead singer of Crucial Fire. So me and Jessica, we actually met in chorus. And yeah, in chorus when we were in high school. She was in a grade younger than me, and I heard her voice. I was like, "Oh my God, your voice is beautiful." She heard mine. She was like, "Let's sing some backup for my dad. He needs some backup singers." And that's when I started to really like kind of get into my own when it came to performing, because he would always give Jessica and I a slot during the show, towards the end of the show. You know, when they introduce the bands, he
Right.
would like introduce the backup singers, and we would do our little solo spots. So
Yeah.
that's when I started performing, and I ended up going solo and doing my own thing, and meeting a lot of dope people. Like I was able to have the pleasure to record and learn from one of the greats from Jodeci, Dalvin.
Wow.
I'm still actually really close with him. I can still text him to this day for any kind of advice. And shout out to Dalvin from Jodeci. So
Salute to Dalvin.
yeah.
Salute to Jodeci, representing Charlotte. So let me ask
That's
you
right.
from
You
that
already know.
era. So you
Hey, we
from
keep
that
it in the
era.
family. You know how I go.
All right. So let me ask you a real question then. Now we talking about Charlotte. We talking about Jodeci.
Mm-hmm.
What 3 songs do it for you for Jodeci? Jodeci had a bunch of hits. Which 3
Every time
are
I
your
close
favorite?
my eyes, I wake up feeling so. You know the rest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yo, and that's definitely one of their classics, yo.
Yep. The other one, on and on till the break of dawn. It's on. I'm in need of love, and maybe you know that
I
one.
know
Come
what you're
on
talking
now.
about. Yeah, you taking me back. Now, if I had your voice, I'd be singing too. I rap, so I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that's it right there. I'll tear the song up. But that's dope right there. So they did their thing. How did you wind up linking with him and being in that position where you can get kind of mentored from Mr.
Whew, let me tell you, this music industry is seriously a small world. Like people, I just want to say for those out there that are trying to pursue a music career, it seems scary and it seems big and it seems like it's like it's so exclusive, like you can't get in because it's so far away. But I'm telling you, when you in it, it is such a small world. So I told you, my dad was a singer, right? He was in a group. He was out in Charlotte breakdancing, doing his little thing out there.
Wow.
And Jodeci, of course, because my dad is from Lincoln, North Carolina, and Jodeci is from Charlotte.
Right there, right beside each other.
Long time ago, before I was even thought of. And they reconnected again because, you know, Dalvin heard of me. And, you know, that's when my dad was like, yo, I got a surprise for you. Like you're gonna meet Dalvin from Jodeci. And so we linked up at this house, like these young guys were recording at, and I was a house. It was not even a studio. It was a home studio. We linked up there, and I met Dalvin, and Dalvin really, man, let me tell you, when you hear my new music, you're gonna understand where I get you know, harmonizing and things, like the love of harmonizing, and why I have that 90s sound to me, and why I appreciate it so much is because I was able to work with him, and he really taught me how to like harmonize and stack, and how to record, and how to sing, and how to project, and things like that. It was like real life boot camp, you know what I mean? So Very,
Right.
very talented. Yeah, so it was my dad. My dad was a plug.
Okay, so your dad plugged you in. So yo, you just said a major thing right there. Learning how to record, learning how to stack. A lot
Hmm.
of people think singing is just I can hold the tune.
No.
You had to learn some tips and tricks. What type of things, looking back now, were the hardest for you to learn or to master? The most difficult things with your recording and singing,
Just getting comfortable.
getting
That's it.
comfortable,
And that
right?
just takes time. You know what I mean? So like I would never ever want to go back and do anything differently because it took all this time for me to be able to get to where I am right now. And I'm happy with the artist that I've developed into. So it's just really just getting comfortable in the artist that I am. You know, there's a whole lot of things that can influence you to want to sound a certain way. And I just my goal had always been to find my style. Like
Right,
who am I as an artist? What does Rachel sound like? So
right,
yeah, it's just, you know, time getting comfortable with yourself
right. And you definitely doing
or with
that. You
myself.
definitely, you did it. Definitely, you definitely built your brand. So let's talk about. So when you was Miss Rachel, this is teenage years. We talking teenage Miss years.
Long time, okay?
Wow. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna leave it at that. We ain't gonna do it like that. But okay. So all right. All right. So now you're doing the shows. You performing, and you're in events. You're in clubs as well.
Yeah.
So how was that transitioning from the talent shows to actually doing clubs and events? What was that
Oh my
transition
God.
like?
So like my first club that I performed at, I was 16 years old. So like that was crazy for me. Like I was like, oh shoot, I'm going to the club.
Right.
But you know, once I got to the club, one, I was underage, so I couldn't drink. And then
Right.
two, I just thought it was gonna be like the movies and people were gonna be dancing and like, you know, it's gonna be going crazy. When I got in there, everybody was just like looking at each other and like, you know, like just sitting there and being cute and not really doing much. So I'm so glad that I got to experience that as a young
Wow.
age because it made me not really want to go and party as much now that I'm a grown ass woman, you know. So
Right.
um that was pretty crazy, like being able to do that. I remember hanging out with Ray J, and no, he
So,
never tried to like do anything weird with me or anything like
right.
that. He's a really good guy. He's a nice person.
Right.
But that was really cool, like just to be sitting up there with celebrities on stage, and I'm 16 years old and I'm hosting at a club, and they have no clue that I probably shouldn't even be in here.
Wow. So, and that's the thing. You had a style and you had a certain look that made you look older, kind of like I said earlier, kind of like Monica almost. Where it
Yeah.
wasn't it wasn't sassy and fast, but it was kind of like mature. Like I'm a
Yeah.
mature lady. So let me ask you, being that, is it an old soul, you just wise, or was it your upbringing? What gave you that maturity?
Man, I would definitely say my upbringing for sure. I had to grow up real
Right.
fast. Like not not in a sense sexually, you know, but like just I'm the oldest. My parents
Right.
were very, very young when they had me. They went through a lot of crazy shit and dragged me along with it.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You know, so I had younger sisters that are 9 and 10 years younger than me. So I was like their second mom. So my mom was out working her job, you know, late at night. I was, you know,
Right.
giving my sisters baths. I was cooking for them. I was, you know, changing their diapers, putting them to sleep and things like that. So I really feel like all of that, the combination of like just having to grow up fast and being the person that I am, it really it made me who I am, and it made me have to like tighten up. You know what I mean? So maybe you could
Right.
say I'm an old soul because yeah, I would say I'm an old soul too, but I'm also not just because I'm hella liberal. So
Right.
so you know I'm kind of like a hippie, I would say.
Right. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get to that because you had an evolution. You're still evolving, but you had an evolution from back then and
Right, still
now, and it's
evolving.
like now is a certain confidence, is a certain swagger. You
I
found your
know.
niche. You found your niche.
I know. She
So
growing into
let's
her grown woman body.
wow.
Okay.
So let's talk about how was that being in the industry, making that transition. Kind of, it's kind of almost like we watch movies like the biopics on New Edition and them, where they went
Mhm.
from adolescent to grown up years. You actually lived that. So what was your experience like?
Um. So, starting out, I my dad was my manager, and I can. you could probably only imagine how daddies are with their little girls in
Right.
the music industry.
Right.
So that was tough because me, I have always just been about like, I just want to be me. I just want to be me. I just want to be me. And, you know, my pops is more like, you got to take this professionally and you need to be in Disney. And I was like, no,
You
I
don't want
smoke
this.
weed. They're going to find out.
Right.
so, you know, eventually I had to say, all right, daddy, you gotta let me just spread my wings and fly. Okay, I gotta
Wow.
do this. Like I gotta do this on my own. And I know it kind of hurt him, but you know, Beyonce went through the same thing, and I did a lot of research before. I remember going through that with me, with my pops, and I did a lot of research. And one of the stories that stood out to me the most was Beyonce's story with her pops, because it was
Right.
kind of the same. Like, he just really wanted what's best for his baby girl. I know, but she also was like, "Look, I gotta be me. Like, this is my dream at the end of the day." And so that's pretty much where it was. And now I'm at a point where I'm just like I'm me,
Right.
unapologetically, you know what I mean? Like, um, and you just get what you get. And I feel like more people respect and love that version of me than they did when it was just kind of controlled. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
right now, I feel like I'm more of an inspiration for those that don't feel like they can be themselves. Like, you know, maybe they feel like they're weird or something, but I'm like, honestly, I embrace my weirdness. Like, if
Wow.
you don't like it, then sorry for you. Like, keep it moving. There's millions of other people out there you could be interested in.
I feel you.
That might be me. So,
I feel you on that, yo. So, all right, we're talking about you being you. We're talking about a little weed smoking. So when we talk about weed smoking, are you half baked? Are you high method and red man? Are we Snoop Dogg? Wiz Khalifa? What you got going on?
depends on the day of the week.
So if it's a weekend, you ain't got nothing to do. You blow.
On Friday, nah, I gotta work. But like when say if I got a day off and it's just
Right.
me time, oh, I'm meth man and red man for sure.
All
Yeah, I
right.
remember
So
when they was in the car and they kept
right.
seeing old
Right.
buddy in the back. The
you,
ghost.
you doing it like that?
Yeah, I be on the edibles, man.
Oh wow.
Them edibles, because I gotta save my vocals.
Right.
But
Nah,
I'll
that
be on
makes
the
sense.
edibles. Relax me. It's better than drinking. You know what I mean? Because I've
Right.
been down that road where drinking is like, no, it doesn't fix anything. It just makes everything worse. But at
Right.
least when when I take my little edible, which is completely legal here in Colorado,
Right.
um, I go to sleep. Push come to shove. The worst thing that could happen is I will go to sleep,
All
or
right.
I will eat all the food in my pantry.
All right. We don't have to go. We don't have to go too deep. But let me ask you. Okay. So you say you dealt with a little bit of drinking. Was it a dark situation you was going through? You kind of turned to the bottle, or was you in a party stage where I'm just in the club? This is what we doing.
Hmm.
Even on the road when you're doing shows, I know a lot of artists go get a couple
Yeah.
drinks, hit the stage.
Hmm.
You was exposed to that life early. How did
Yeah.
you stay focused and not get caught up in the struggle?
What's crazy is that it started out as partying, and then as I went through some dark times, that's when it became a little bit of a problem, an issue for me. But I did decide to seek help for that and get help for that through therapy and things like that.
Right,
Um, and where now I feel like, if I'm in a situation where I'm in a club, for instance, when I opened up and I performed for Ja Rule,
right.
I went to a club afterwards and they had like two bottles for me. I popped them bottles open, and I brought all the most prettiest girls to my section, and I poured up the drinks for them,
And
and I
let
didn't
them
have
drink.
not one sip. Yeah, I was like, y'all have a good time.
Right. And
So
that
it's a whole lot of it's a lot of stuff in this industry, man. Like, it's a lot of crazy stuff in this industry. Like, this industry, when it comes to drugs and alcohol,
right,
it's scary. It's very scary, especially for the younger kids that like just ain't really been through anything yet.
right,
I really can understand so much more in other people's music. For instance, um, like, you know, Juice World and, you know, Mac Miller, rest in peace to them.
Absolutely.
DMX, rest in
Right.
peace to him.
Right.
I could really hear the pain in their music because I understand what they're going through. I understand how that is. Like it, you know, I feel like the 16-year-old me wouldn't understand that if I was listening to their music. Even DMX back then, when I was listening to his music, I didn't understand it. But now
Right.
that I've actually been through some shit like that, man, like I get it. Like, and I'm not even trying to like say, well, I've been through it because obviously I haven't been through what he's been through. We all have our own different journeys, our paths, you know,
Right.
destinations and things like that. But like just like being able to relate to him is where I was just like, dang, like I be hearing the song cry for real. And that's, you know, that's what I be trying to do for my music is make it
Yeah.
cry. So people could just understand like this ain't no joke. Like a lot, I had a friend, a really good friend of mine, best friend of mine. I remember for a long time she didn't hit me up, and I was just like, "Yo, what's good? You all right? Like everything cool? Like, dang, I miss you. I miss talking to you." And I remember her telling me, "Well, like, you know, you're like all famous and stuff, and like you seem like you're really busy and like you get a lot of love." And I just remember saying, "Nah, man, I be lonely. I be
Right.
so lonely. I have a lot of dark days, like where I don't
Wow.
feel like nobody got me, no matter what the social media presence is. Like what's
Right.
real is what's here right here. What's
Right.
what's what's going through these veins right now, or these veins. You know what I mean? That's what's real. You know, just being able to have that self control has really taught me a lot, and being able to get therapy, knowing that that's an option and that you don't, it doesn't have to be nothing wrong for you to get therapy. You know, that's very important, especially for our Black community. I really feel like most of us, the majority of us, if not all of us, we all need some kind of therapy. So,
Right.
yeah.
And that's the fact right there. And you definitely dropping real words. Like if you're going through something, people have the misconceptions. So looking from the outside in, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I'm from the outside looking in. We're gonna set the record straight. You got the looks, you got the talent, you're in the business at 16, people loving you. What's on the other side of the fence that people don't see? Because from the outside, it would look like, yo, she's got everything. People may even look at your life and say, yo, she's got it all together. She's doing big things. But they don't know, like you said, that's outside. What's going on in
Right.
here and what's going on inside is a total
Hmm.
different thing. That's like being in a room full of people and still feeling alone.
Yeah,
What was
for
that?
real.
What was that like? And then you went through it as a teenager into young adult. So a
Hmm.
lot of things you seen that you might not should have seen, but it made you
Hmm.
stronger.
Right.
How did you
Yeah.
process this? Because a lot of stuff they thought or they treat like normal, you're learning is not really normal. So how did you
Right.
process that at 16, young adult, going into young adulthood and stay focused? Because like from the outside looking in, people would think, yo, she's got it all made. How could she be lonely? How could she be depressed?
Hmm.
Let's tell the people what it's really like on the other side.
Man, I think the best advice I could give to people is get comfortable with being alone. Be comfortable with being with yourself, because when you got you, when you got you can't never be alone.
Right.
Never ever. You can't never feel that way. You might not feel like you could talk to people on the outside, but if you got it good with yourself, that's when you can get through that kind of thing. You know what I mean? You know when you're not feeling your best that day, and you know what to do at that point. All right, I'm not feeling good. So me personally, I like to resort to nature. I like to go out and go for a hike, go for a walk, go take my dog for a walk, be around my dog. Um, when I'm not feeling my best. So just really get comfortable with being by yourself, because especially on this whole music journey, it's lonely, man. It gets really
Right.
lonely, like a lot of times. Like,
Right.
um, there will be times where I see the love and I know I got that support. I know people love me and things like that. But it's just really me going through the journey myself. Like this is my
Wow.
journey. I'm on my path.
Right.
Nobody really knows what it's taken in order to get there. I'm a hustler, yo. I am a hustler. Like everything that y'all see online, I've done that myself. I've had help, but I've
Right.
done all that myself. I put all the bread into my music videos. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on studio time, on marketing, on videos, on even rehearsals with my band and my dancers, and getting clothing for my band and my dancers, and just looking out for my community and making sure that I'm able to communicate with my friends and make sure they're good. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, but at the end of the day, I do find myself meditating, and I think that's one of the best things I could do is just take time to just breathe and be with myself. So that's why we say get comfortable being lonely, because that right there, that's the best thing you could do for yourself. Breathe, be one with yourself.
Yeah. And you saying you spitting it real. A lot of people we fake it, but you being vulnerable right now. And I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate that because people watching, they're probably going through the same thing and it's like they feel like they're alone. So you're breaking it down like you're not alone. So let me ask you, being a female in the business, you gotta watch out for a lot of people with agendas, people that's not really about business. Then you can't trust a lot of people in the business. So going
Whew.
from teenager to young adult and finding your way, what were some of your experiences, good and bad, in the beginning?
Oh man, so I mean, I definitely learned a lot of lessons, just as far as trusting your gut. Pray for discernment, y'all. Pray for discernment. Practice that. You know what I mean? Practice being real with yourself. Honestly, once you practice being real with yourself, you're gonna be able to decide. You're gonna be able to see, who's for you, who got your back, and who don't. Instead of like worrying too much about who don't got your back or who does have your back, you're gonna have your own back. So you're gonna be able to trust your own intuition when it comes to stuff like that. Um, and that's what I would say that is the biggest lesson that I've learned, is just really being able to trust myself. Um, it's gonna help you weed out a lot of the snakes. Learn the business, definitely learn the business, the music business, because you can't just go into this industry thinking that everything's gonna be just all sunshine and skittles.
All right.
It's not. You got to get into it, and you got to learn, you got to read, and you got to do your research. So research and
Research,
be real
read.
with yourself, the big
And
gang
yeah,
way.
and you definitely you dropping the knowledge. So let me ask you, okay, you say you gotta read, you gotta learn the business. What are some things that you learn now, that you know now, that you wish somebody would have pulled you to the side in the beginning and said, look, I know you want to do this, but right now, before you start doing that, you want to learn this. What are some things that you wish you would have known in the beginning?
I would say, if I was talking to my younger self, I
Right.
would tell her, do not don't listen to other people when they tell you how to be. You be yourself.
Be
Be
yourself.
yourself at all times. Like, you ain't gotta do no Disney stuff. If you
Wow.
want to talk about certain things, talk about it. It's okay to be controversial, because honestly, being that way, that's what everybody loves, because you got to realize that there are really people out there that work a 9 to 5 job every day, and they get told what to do all the time.
Right.
So by you showing who you are and being yourself, it's you have no clue what it's doing for those people. It's really inspiring them. You could inspire somebody to quit their job and start their own business that they've been wanting to start for years, you know what I mean? Or quit their job and just fulfill their ultimate dream that they've always wanted to do. So yeah, that's what I would tell my younger self, is just be yourself.
Right.
Period.
And that's a fact right there. You definitely stand for empowerment. You
Hmm.
definitely represent the strong women. You definitely having a little fun. You definitely have your fun. I see you be dancing. You be having a good time on the video
Hmm.
set. So it looks
Yeah.
like you having a party. You also like your weed. You like your weed. You like to smoke your good weed. So let me ask you, when you're coming up with these songs, what's your process? Is like, yo, what do you need is a must have when you're going to create a song? What's your vibe and how do you get in the mood?
The most important thing, before any kind of substance or anything like that, is who I'm working with. Who am I working with? Because the vibes got to be right. I'm very, 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 very particular with the vibes that are in the studio. And I feel like I'm also very in tune with vibrations and with energy. So I could fill that out real quick. And if somebody ain't feeling right in that room, you got to go. and I'm gonna be the one to tell you quick, straight like that. You gotta go. I don't like your energy. You gotta leave. Or you talking too much in my session. You gotta leave, because when I'm in that studio, we're gonna have fun, but I'm also not there to play games. I'm there to make hit records. I'm there to express myself, through something that changed my life, that saved my life, and that's music. So I don't take it lightly. It's not a joke to me. I have fun, but I don't take it as a joke. But yeah, the vibes. I love being able to turn off all the lights in a room and turn on some LED lights, and go with the color that whatever the song speaks to me. Maybe it's purple that day, maybe it's blue, maybe it's red, maybe it's orange. I'll put that on and, make sure my sound in my headphones is right. Make sure the music is dope. Make sure whoever I'm working with is going to take me seriously. And you know what I mean? Like that's it for me. Like that's all it takes. And a lot of times it's crazy. Like sometimes I'll get the burst of energy to want to write at home, just because I'm like, yo, I gotta get this off my chest. Like, so I'll write, I'll record all the memos into my phone. And then sometimes I'll get in the studio and there will be a beat that I like, and it's not for me to write at home. So I'll just get in and I'll just freestyle it. And I have a single actually that I'm dropping pretty soon. And that one, I freestyled the whole thing, man. The majority of the songs that y'all are gonna hear, I freestyled a lot of those. I just got in the booth and I just went for it. I just got in the zone, felt the energy, caught the vibe, and I just went for it.
Yeah, that's dope right there, and that's experience. So a lot of the things that Mr. Dalvin he taught you, now you got those tricks in your belt.
Yeah.
So now now you got your own stuff. Now you got some professional tips. Yeah. So now you're putting it together. I want to jump into one of your videos right quick, and then when we come back, I want to talk about the record that we just seen in the visual. Then let's talk about the studio process and like how do you get your concepts? Where do you draw your inspiration?
I love talking about this.
All right, so let's jump into it. We're gonna throw into the video right quick. I'm gonna mute my mic so that it don't mess with the sound, but we're gonna jump into one of your videos right here.
All right, let's get it. Big gang.
But you know just what to say to me to get me to stay just a little while longer, a little while longer. When I'm kissing on your neck, I just can't help it. You know that Gucci get me away. I don't feel guilty cause you got me, and I know that. You know you can always pull up on me. Promise you would never leave me lonely. You're my lover, friend, and you the homie.
This shit make me so impatient, cause I want you now and I ain't waiting. So you can pull up on me, don't be flaking, cause I ain't driving dirty on probation. I fuck around and Uber to your place. Let's find something to get into, then I'm on you when we get through. Just tell me all that crazy shit you been through, and I ain't about to hold it against you. I ain't gonna lie, girl, I dig you. You need someone to vent to, and you need some dick too. So come get your issue. Give me your hand for a second, cause when I say I want you, I ain't flexing. I know being single don't make you desperate, so tell me if you with it, cause I'm with it. But either way, you my homie, no question, so hold it down.
You know you can always pull up on me. Promise you would never leave me lonely. You're my lover, friend, and you the homie. You the homie. I know you gon' hold me down. You know I'ma hold you down. I know you gon' hold me down. And you know I'ma hold you down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know you can always pull up on me. Promise you would never leave me lonely. You're my lover, friend, and you the homie. You the homie. I know you gon' hold me down. You know I'ma hold you down. I know you gon' hold me down.
hold on. I was watching the video, right? I was watching the video while I was playing. I definitely like that song. I definitely like Down. It's something about your music, yo. You put out records that sound like they should be on the radio. You definitely polish. But I'm watching the video and I'm looking in the bottom, right? And it was like a live performance going on. And I'm trying to keep it professional because I wanted the people to see the video. But you kind of had me looking at you down there performing. That's why I brought you up. So let's talk about the Down record and what inspired that.
Down. Okay. Down was a crazy record because my manager helped me out with that one. He heard the song. He was like, I love this song. Scorp Diesel produced this song. I don't know if you're familiar with Scorp Diesel, but he's
I
done a
heard
lot
his
of
name.
records with like us. Yeah, he's big guy. He's done a lot of really dope records from a lot of big names. Sway Lee, I think his name is.
Wow.
Yeah, all
Sway.
big
From
people. He's worked with a lot of big people. So he produced that record. And then I had a co-writer come on board as well, because that's how a lot of the dopest records get put together. It's
right.
multiple people. And his name is Will Geis. Will Geis is an amazing writer. He's also a great artist too. He has he's won a Grammy.
Wow.
He produced records for or written records for like Usher. And worked with a lot of big names. So he's really dope. He helped me to write that song. And Trev Rich. Trev Rich he's a very big artist out here in Denver, Colorado. He's also built a big name for himself elsewhere outside of the state as well. He's Grammy nominated, amazing, dope ass rapper. He just dropped a new project and everything like that. But my manager was like, yo, who do we hear on this record? Like, just besides you. And we were like, Trev. Like,
Wow.
we could just hear him on that record. So, and he killed it. Like, he did exactly what we knew he was gonna do. Killed the song. It's funny because you said I produce I come out with songs that should be on the radio, and that song right there actually was my first song. Well, like one of my first songs that was on the radio on but the first song on KS 107.5, which is one of the biggest radio stations out here. So that's really dope. It landed me a lot of opportunities right before the whole COVID thing hit. Trev and I, we were actually able to perform that song at the Pepsi Center here for a Nuggets game halftime show. And we were the first. Let me say that again. We was the first Black urban artist to ever perform at a Nuggets halftime game. So we made history. It was really dope. So God bless everybody that was a part of that song. The engineers, everybody.
Yeah, that's dope. And it's like I said, yo, I told you off camera. I'm gonna say it on camera. We had a show. You come up to the stage. They say, Miss Rachel, come to the stage. Right, and you know how people are. They performing, and the song starts. They do the introduction. We're waiting to perform, so we're chilling. You start singing, and my neck did one of these. Who is that?
Oh.
So it's like, yo, you have that. You definitely have a star quality, and it's like, so for me to see your growth, to see your evolution, it's like, yo, at that point, it was like a diamond that hasn't been found. Now it's like a polished diamond for the world to see. So it's like the same star power that we hear on the track, the same star we see moving around, the same confidence. It's like you already had it then, but it's kind of like you blew it up even more. It was like if this was 60%, now I'm at 100. And it's like even talking to you and knowing you, this is just the beginning. Because it's like a new can of worms now. So what's coming is even bigger than what we just seen. Am I correct, or what's going on with it?
Absolutely. God does not play about me.
Wow.
God don't play about me.
Right.
Absolutely. I truly and wholeheartedly believe that for sure. Every single day I wake up and I sit in bed and I think about ways that I could get better. Not just as an artist, but just as a human. Because I one day when I have to leave this earth, and I don't know when that is, I just want to be able to leave a legacy behind. I want to leave something powerful behind, something that everyone can always remember, whether that's advice or whether that's just my music. I just want to be that change that I want to see in the world, like at all times. So
Wow. And I don't know if you read in the comments, it says you're still very humble. With even the accomplishments, you're still very humble.
thank you.
Never change. Never
Got
change.
to,
So it's like
man.
you have people that may have one song and they head out here, I'm the best thing smoking. But I can say you worked hard. You definitely earned your respect. If I'm not mistaken, your name was buzzing heavy in North Carolina. Your name was buzzing heavy.
I'll be back.
So let's talk about the transition. You're doing your thing in North Carolina. What were some of the places that were some of your best memories in North Carolina performing?
Definitely the Raleigh Wide Open in Raleigh. Um, I would say opening for Miguel in Raleigh. That was one of my favorite moments. One, because Miguel smelled really ridiculously good. His breath
Wow.
smelled really good too. I
Right.
was crushing
Wow.
so hard. But
Wow.
just like getting the advice that I got from him was
Right.
really inspiring, and I always kept that dear to my heart. And just how he moved as an artist, like this guy was is a big superstar, and just the way he was able to talk to me, like he didn't have his nose in the air, when he gave me that advice. He was just
Right.
kind of like, hey, listen, like this is what you're getting yourself into, and you can do it if you put your mind to it, as long as you can, be yourself. So shout out to Miguel, man. Like that was like one of my, definitely my all-time favorite moments. I also did was it a fashion show for, I think his name is Tim Johnson,
Tim Johnson.
fashion show, but it was like it's a huge like fashion show every year. I don't know if he still
Big
does
thing.
it, but every year it used to be this big fashion show, and it was all catered to Black folks. So I was
Right.
able to perform, and I met Asmarie from America's Next Top Model, and she
Wow.
was extremely humble too, just such a beautiful woman, and just so cool, like exactly the way she is, like when she's talking, like that's how she is in person. And like, just I think seeing how people are in person and being able to be like, wow, this is you, you're this big superstar, and this is who you are, like that's what inspired me to want to just be like, I got to be myself. Like I don't ever want to get caught where I'm like selling out or anything like that. So yeah,
Right.
those are my favorite moments.
Yeah. And that's dope right there. And that's one thing about you. You're definitely authentic. You're definitely genuine, humble, and you definitely have a good energy. You've been around a lot of famous people. You've had a real peculiar, real different, unique path in the music
Yeah.
industry. So your dad was a singer. You wind up getting plugged into Dalvin. You get to Denver. Now you're working with Grammy nominee artists, working with super producers. How did everything, was it like the stars aligned or was it like strategic? How did this happen?
I would say the stars are aligned, man. God don't play about me.
Right.
He don't play about me. So like it's crazy. When I came out here, I didn't know I didn't know anything about the music industry. Had no clue. I was just putting myself out there. Like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it. Just put myself out there. And it's crazy, when I did that, that's when everybody
Started
started to
embracing.
come in, like everybody that I knew. And I met Trev when I first moved out here, and I was just nervous. I was like kind of filling everybody out. And it's crazy, years later we were able to reconnect and get on music. And he had been signed to Cash Money Records, and went on tour and all sorts of things, and then Grammy nominated. And so like
Right.
he also had his path and his journey. And this was after I had met him for the first time when I first moved out here.
Wow.
So it's crazy how like just seeing a whole rosebud just bloom. That's kind of how we are. Like it's like looking at everybody that started out here, that started somewhere small, and it's just blossoming into this beautiful rose. Like it's a really amazing thing to see. So nothing was really strategized, man. My strategy was, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna do music, and I'm gonna take over the city. Every city that I go to, like I'm going crazy. And that
Right.
was the plan. Like, especially being from North Carolina, I really wanted to rep North Carolina here, and be like, I'm not from here. Like, I know y'all think I'm from here because I'm just going crazy out here, but like I'm not from here. from Raleigh, North Carolina. Like
Wow.
I'm from the North Cat, my
Wow.
my guy. Like I carry it everywhere I go. So um,
Wow.
I can't wait to come back out to North Carolina, and I'm working on it
Wow.
to come back out there, because when I come out there, I'm hitting so many of the cities up, and I want to do a tour out there. That's my main mission. My goal is to get booked out there and like really show North Carolina how hard I've been working and like who I am now as an artist. Cause yo, I feel good. I feel real
Right.
good.
And you should, as you should, because like I said, you in the kind of early stages, you was paying your dues, but even then, it's like, yo, you've grown, you evolved so much. So let me ask you, I have this discussion a lot of times with a lot of people from North Carolina. All right, the North Carolina music scene, we love it. It's home. But
Yeah.
let me ask you, what's the difference reception you get other places than being home? What's the difference in the receptions you get?
Um, what's crazy is that I low key feel like every state is gonna be the same. It's just how you work it. It's like what audience are you gonna tap into? So, and that's what I learned when I moved from North Carolina. Because when I was out there in North Carolina, I was like, okay, I get some love, but like I'm not getting the love that I want. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I want a certain kind of love. I was young. I left. I came to Colorado because I just felt like North Carolina was so saturated. The whole East Coast, it's right near Atlanta,
Right.
and New York is just a train ride away. So a lot going on out there on the East Coast. And I just felt like it was so saturated. So I moved out here to Colorado because I was like, I like the balance of the city life and the fact that I can drive 30 minutes out and be in the mountains where you can't even see
Wow.
the city. It's eagles and bears and mountain lions and stuff everywhere. It's
Wow.
National Geographic, literally.
Right there.
So I came out here, and what I've seen is like, for one, Colorado does not have a music industry. There's no really music. And now is it developing? Absolutely. It's definitely developing out of here.
Right.
A lot of people are being discovered from Colorado, and I'm blessed to be here right now. I'm blessed for Colorado to have accepted me as one of their own. But it's not a music hub. We know that because we think of Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, California, and New York when we think of the music industry. Maybe even Chicago, but mainly, Atlanta, Houston,
Right.
Cali, New York.
Right.
So what I found is like out here, they want someone to win out here. There's a lot of people that are just like, what are you doing? I want to follow it and I want to support it. And when I left North Carolina, I realized that I got more support from North Carolina when I left. And it made me feel good. It made me feel so good because I felt like the city, my state had my back. And they were like, we're glad you left because you needed to go and explore. You needed to adventure elsewhere with your talent. So I don't hold no grudges towards that. I love the fact that my city still stuck with me all this time. I'm way in North Carolina or in Colorado, and my people from North Carolina are like, yo, we love you. They're the ones that pop up when I look into my insights on my Instagram to get the algorithms right and stuff. North Carolina pops up the most. North Carolina is the leading state that bought the majority of my merch when I came out with my first line of T-shirts. So the love is always there, and that's what I've seen is that just every city has a different audience, and like, how are you gonna work that audience? Like, if it's in you, and you're gonna be dope anywhere you go. You're gonna be fly wherever you go.
Right. And that's the thing. You're definitely representing. You just dropped a big word out there. We're going to do school real quick. We're going to do school for the people, the artists out there. You dropped the algorithm. All right, let's talk about the algorithms. Let's talk about the data. Let's talk about the analytics. Because you're looking, you're saying, yo, this is where I'm getting my hits at.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, they don't understand. They putting it on the Facebook and they thinking, all right, I got 10 likes. I made it. Let's talk about the business. Let's talk about the other side. Let's talk about the data. Let's talk about the numbers.
There's a lot of investment, and I would say the biggest thing I could ever, like, for me, I wish someone had came to me and told me how to do this. I had to figure it out on my own. You know what I mean? I had to figure out how to gain followers myself. Like, and it took a lot of trial error, but one thing I could say is be consistent. Be consistent. Consistency is the biggest key when it comes to social media. You know what I mean? You don't have to buy a bunch of stuff. Now, it is nice to be able to have that option to where you can invest in marketing, and you can put $30 here or there into a promotion on Facebook or Instagram, and it's going to help you with that outreach, but it's not going to do you no good if you're not consistent. So find a
Right.
niche, and be consistent with it. You know what I mean? Find something dope, whether that's just like if people come to your page just to get a good laugh, be consistent in that. If people come to your page because every week you drop a dope ass freestyle, be consistent in that. If people come to your page because you travel a lot and let me start a little bit smaller. Maybe people come to your page because I don't know. Every day you post these funny ass memes on your story. Just be
Right.
consistent in it, and be yourself while you're at it, because social media at the end of the day is so fake, y'all. It's so fake. Like, I got over 11,000 followers and I still be looking at it like, this is fake, man. Like,
Right.
like just the fact that Instagram will only allow a certain percent of your followers to view your work or to see your work.
Wow.
That should already tell people it's not that serious. So adventure out other ways, touch the people. When things start to open up, go travel, meet other people. That's how you're gonna build real fans right there, is by actually exchanging real energy, because the energy that we get through phones, cellular devices, pictures, things like that, we post what we want people to see. But when
Right.
you see me face to face, like, you really see the real me. You see the pimple scars, you
Right.
see the blemishes, you see my hair ain't laying flat, you know what I mean? You see me sweating. That's the real stuff. So
Right.
always remember that. Remember that energy is the most important thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, algorithms is cool, and it's definitely important to pay attention to that kind of thing. Who's watching you, instead of thinking about, yo, ain't nobody showing me love. Well, who is showing you love?
Wow.
Who's showing you love? And show them same people that same love back. Anybody that has been consistent and sharing my things, or just having my back and supporting me, I always make sure that I check in with them, that I respond to them, that I show them some kind of reciprocation, that I hear you, and you're not being ignored, and I'm so thankful for you. I'm grateful for you. Like, talking about this stuff, it makes me choked up because I really feel that way. I take it to the heart, when people tell me that they're proud of me or that they support me, especially even the new people that just all of a sudden pop up and they're like, I've been listening to your song, or they'll quote a song of mine. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, so
Right.
always show them people that show you love, you better show them back. And it's got to be genuine. If you don't want to do it, don't do nothing that you want to do. But, like, man, show the love back. That's important. Don't be out here Hollywood. It's lame. That's just lame.
Right. A lot of people, they faking, they wearing the mask, they trying to play the
Lame.
politic game. I was just
Yeah.
talking to a friend the other day. Back in the 90s, 2000s, that was a big thing. We would get together, say we politicking.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to school me and said, I don't politic. I said, bro, what you mean? He said, politicians lie. I
Mm-hmm.
don't lie.
That's right.
After that day, that word went out my. So you said, be real, be yourself. And you're doing that, and you're showing people a different side outside of the artist. You're fun. Like you said, you're a hippie. So you like to have your good times. You like the mountains. So for the people that may be new to you, how would you describe yourself for them? Musically, it's pretty much the same on the outside, but let the people know who Rachel Bailey is.
Um, I'm a free spirited person. I'm a Libra. If you're
Me
into,
too. Yeah.
hey, gang, gang, yeah,
Right.
all right, so
Right.
cool. So yeah, I'm a Libra sun. I am an Aquarius rising, and I'm an
Wow.
Aries, an Aries, excuse me, an Aquarius moon in the Aries rising. So, makes sense, I would say. I'm definitely one of them air signs, just free spirited. I'm very understanding person. So I feel like a lot of times my Aries comes out, my energy comes out, and it can get very misconstrued of, like, maybe I can't really talk to her. Like, maybe
Right.
she's not very nice. I've heard people say that to me. Like,
Wow.
I didn't know you were gonna be nice. Like, I thought you were gonna be mean. I thought you were gonna be stuck up. I'm like, dang, yo, no, not at all. I'm a very, very understanding person. Um, I would say I'm on the cusp of being outgoing and being very at home body. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, I'm all about energy. So if the energy's right, I'm there. I'm pulling up.
Right.
I love to travel. That I love, 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 love to travel. I'm very adventurous. I love trying new foods, new spices. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just a very free spirited person, and I strongly, strongly believe in living a happy life. I was raised a lot of times with a lot of the adults in my life telling me that I had to go to college, and shout out to everybody that is in college. I know it's no joke, and keep
Right.
going and finish to the end. But I chose not to go because it wasn't it. I just didn't want to do that. Like, I wanted to do music. So I always stuck with that. And I honestly believe that it's more important to live a happy life than it is to live a successful life, because success to me is happiness. Finding true happiness in you, that is success right there. That is you living your best and fullest life. You know, we might go through some crazy stuff,
Right.
but what are we doing to make the world a better place? And being happy is one of them things that can definitely help show and guide the world into being a better place. So
Yeah. And
that's who
that's
I
real.
am. I just
And
want to be
that's
happy.
there's nothing wrong with that, yo. And that's real. And you definitely doing that. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let me ask you about the other side. What were some of the low moments? Because I know it wasn't always a yellow brick road. I know
Yeah,
you ain't gonna sit here and say, yo, everything every day was great. Let's
absolutely
talk
not.
about the other side of it.
Um, I mean, dive a little deeper for me when you talk about lows. What you mean by that?
We could talk. We'll keep it music. I don't want to get into your personal life unless it's something that
Okay.
ties in
I'm an
that you want
open
to say.
book. You know what I
Well, all
mean?
right. Let's talk about some of the lowest moments. Okay, everything's going good. Maybe musically, things
Mhm.
falling apart in your life. How did you stay focused? And what type of things were you going through?
Well, I guess we could talk about the most recent thing that I went through, and that was a breakup. I was with someone for 5 years that I truly loved and cared so much about. And, things just didn't work out, and it hurt me. It broke me really, really, really bad. Like, I'd never been through anything like that, and any kind of heartbreak like that in my life. So I remember the day that it happened, I immediately checked myself in and I got help, because I'd been drinking so bad,
Right,
so bad, and I had went into a PTSD episode. That's post traumatic stress disorder, for those that don't know what that is, and
right.
it's a thing that a lot of us actually struggle with, especially Black men in America. You know, when you
Facts.
see it's basically PTSD. When you think of Black men out there, when you think of being in the car and you see a cop behind you and you look in your rearview mirror, you know that feeling when you get anxious, you scared, man.
Right.
That's PTSD right there. It ain't fair. That ain't cool. But I had developed PTSD from other things that had happened in my life, traumatic things that happened in my life, and I got help. So I got into therapy, and like I said, I faced myself. It was this was in the middle of a pandemic, and I knew that I had to survive. Like, I had to. It was just too many. I had just dropped my song Black Girl Magic, and I was in the midst,
Wow.
like in the middle of shooting the video for it, in the middle of it, going through all the stuff. And I remember when I had thrown a cookout for the video, you know what I'm talking about. In the
Right.
video, there's a cookout that I threw, and I fed the community out here. And I just remember them kids, how they hugged me and how they told me they love me. And I'm Auntie Rachel, I'm TT Rachel. So, like, they all came up to me hugging me and loving me, and I just thought of them, and I was like, yo, I can't leave here. Like, I can't go out like this. Like, I gotta
Right.
go get help. I gotta fix myself. I gotta get back in the game, and I gotta do it for them, because I gotta be an example. I was out there in the streets showing them how to use their voice and how to be an example and how to, make themselves heard. So now God is testing me right now that I really gotta be that example, and I gotta go get help. So I went to therapy. I went and got help. I checked myself in, and I was gone for like about a week. And, I got myself right, and I came out of it. And man, I was scared. I was scared that people would be judging me. And it was amazing the amount of support that I got
Right.
when I came out of it. People were proud of me. They were hugging me. They were kissing me. Um, it was the best thing I had ever done for myself. So, yeah, I would strongly suggest, if you're ever going through something that where you feel like you just can't do it, like you can't make it, go get help. Go do it. It's free to just go and check yourself in somewhere and just get away and get the help that you need. Don't worry about money, don't worry about the bills, don't worry about none of that shit. Like, your soul comes first. You got to take care of that. You Whatever you water is what's going to grow. So constantly constantly feed your soul, water your soul, help that become blossom. And that right there is going to keep your garden full, and it's going to keep you full. You know what I mean? You keep your garden full, you got vegetables growing, you got all kind of things that are going to nourish your body. That's what you got to treat your soul like your garden. So that's what I did is I went and got help, man. I humbled myself and I was like, you know what? I'm not strong right now, but I got to be strong. So I need help getting there.
Wow. And that's the thing right there. Admitting that, yo, it's too much. Sometimes it get overwhelming. Admitting, like you said, and going to get the help and not being ashamed. Sometimes as artists, it's like we got to posture ourselves like we got it all together, like we're not going through nothing. And I
Right.
respect that about you. And you're also teaching me. It's like the more authentic you are and the more real. So it's like, okay, I'm going through something where you thinking they're gonna laugh or it's gonna discredit you. It actually made you more realer, where people like, yo, oh, wow, yo, we support you, yo, we proud of you. Now they're giving you that encouragement and love. Whereas like people wear the facade, and it's like sometimes you could be hurting.
Yeah.
But because you have a facade that you always got it together, people don't expect you to need help. Or if you,
Yeah.
it's gotta be me. I'm that. So when you're going through times, it's like, well, you always good. We didn't know.
Right.
So the
Hey,
fact
look, you
that
know,
you
like it's crazy because you'd be surprised in how many people are going through the same thing you're going through. And that's what it taught me is like my DMs were flooded with people telling me I'm going through that right now, or I feel the same way. Like, what did you do? How did you get out of this? And like that right there, it showed me like, dang, yo, I'm glad I'm glad I was strong enough to come out about this, because who knows, I could have saved somebody's life.
you
Somebody
never
could
know.
have been on the verge of just not being able to make it. And I really could have saved somebody's life. And that right there is just me adding on to my legacy. It's me adding on to who I'm gonna be when I leave this earth, who people are gonna be left with. I'm always gonna be here. I'm always gonna be able to, like, that for that person that I helped. They're always gonna remember that for me. And that right there is the greatest gift that I can give anybody, or even to myself.
Wow. And that's real right there. We all have a birth date. We all have a death date. But that dash in the middle, the dash in the middle, you just said it. What you do with the life that we all get a beginning, we all get an end.
Yep.
But it's that middle that we don't know when it's going to be the last. We don't know.
Hmm.
So you're living on purpose. You're making an impact. You definitely have a heart for people, because we're going to get to the video later. I don't want to jump to that because that's my jam. I'm going to tell you that now. I'll fight somebody over that song. That's my
Okay.
jam right there. But yo,
Mine
you
too.
definitely, but that's who you are. It's like you're honest. You definitely have a heart for the people. So let me just ask you, we're going to shift off of music for one question. If you could change 5 things in the world, what would you change?
Hmm. Change it like how? What do you mean?
It's up to you. Like if you had the power to, like, what's that song? If I rule the world, I free all my sons. If you rule the world, what's 5 things that you would change or you would like to see changed in your lifetime?
Um, I think I would say in schools, I would want to see um, the educational system teach kids how to manage their money, how to
Right.
invest in property, um, things like that, real life stuff, instead of the stuff that we grow up learning and we never use. So
Right.
that's what I would want to see is like the education system change a little bit when it comes to that. I would like to see more promotion of healthy foods being promoted instead of
Wow.
McDonald's getting all the bread, instead of cities inside of New York City where they don't have fresh fruits and vegetables, but
Right.
yet they got the ghetto, they got the projects right in the center of that hood where there are no vegetables and fruits killing our people. I
Right.
would like to see that change. I would like to see, get into, what's going on right now. I would like to see the police defunded
Wow.
tremendously.
Right.
Um, I would like to see our people have each other's back more often. You know what I mean? So that's 3 things. I got 2 more.
Right.
Um, I would say I would like to see I would like to see maybe less time on social media, or just maybe to use it in a little bit of a different way. And
Right.
through that, I'm going to just put out there therapy. I would like for the world to have initially made it a um, a normal thing to get therapy and to nurture themselves, and to respect all religions through that. Meaning that it's okay to meditate, it's okay to pray, it's okay to do whatever you got to do to get right with yourself and be with yourself and think with yourself and breathe with yourself. Make that normal. You know what I mean? And last but not least, I would like to see everybody be them damn selves.
You know, damn stuff.
Just be yourself, baby. Like, we
Right.
ain't got a cap for nobody. We ain't got to be in these rental cars flexing for everybody. If you ain't got it right now and you got to put out a music video, hey, use your car.
Right.
So everybody loves to see the growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that I built in my music videos, I either used my mama's house, I paid for everything, or I made the costumes that I was wearing, things like that. Like, there ain't never been not 1 ounce of cap in any of my videos, even in my video Pretty. Um, at the time I didn't own a gun, so you wasn't gonna see me with no gun in my hand,
Right.
because but I got homies that got guns.
I feel
So,
you. Let
and
them
they
know
got
again.
my back.
You got what with the guns? Tell them again for those that's out there. They got it twisted. They see the pretty face. They forgot that you was fighting, beating up people in high
Yeah,
school,
you feel
in
me?
middle school. So don't let them get it twisted. You
And
say
don't
you
get it
got
twisted. The
yeah,
homies got my back though. That's
right,
on life. Everywhere I go, I'm good. So, and that's what I need. That's, basically just be
right.
yourself. Don't be out here with your little laser guns and it's your homies' guns, or it's your, like, don't do that. Come on, man. Like, just be yourself. Don't nobody, that's old. It's played out now. If that's who you are, that's who you are. But if that's not who you are and you're doing that and you're flexing these big bands in your hands, but you ain't even got that, that's your stimulus check. Come on now. Don't do that. Like, people can tell when something is fake, and you gonna have to keep up with that lie,
Got to
and
keep
that's
up with the
not
line.
fun. It's way easier to just be yourself. So those are the 5 things I would change in the world, and it's literally based off of what the world's looking like right now, I
Right.
guess. And
Nah,
what I
that's
think about on a daily, like, dang, yo, I just be thinking stuff about this stuff all the time, because I really do love the kids too, and I think there's a lot of things that could be done, and within that, like, could start with that, with helping the kids, helping
right.
them to learn what meditation is, how to eat healthy, and how to manage your money.
How
That's
to
what I'm gonna
manage
be
your
teaching
money.
my kids.
Right. Right. And that's real right there. You hitting real topics right there. How to manage your money, to be yourself, get help, show a little more love, get off of social media, protect yourself, and stop the cap. So you
Period.
said, so let me ask you, all right, we in 2021. You a female, let me ask you. So now everything is Birkin bags. Everything is, if you like me, you'll wife me, all these cliches they got now, the big money. All right, let me ask you, is that real? Or is like, is that certain women that's not Rachel? Or
So
they need
with me, one, having a being rich is a mindset for me.
right,
To me, you know what I mean. Being broke is also a mindset. So if you don't got no goals, you know what I mean? If you're just a very negative person, to me, you broke. And
right,
I don't hang with broke people.
right,
No, it's a no for me. However, when it comes to actually having money and things like that, I do think as a grown ass woman, stability is important.
right,
Nobody, and even for men, I would say the same thing. No, don't no man want no woman that's just on her butt all the time and not doing nothing, got no ambition, you know what I mean? No way
right,
to encourage her man or inspire her man to be great. Like, don't no man want that. And it goes same way for women. Don't no woman want no man like that that's just on his tail and don't got no ambition, no goals, like nothing. Like, you're not working on nothing. Like, what is it like? Or, always just penny clinching. Don't no woman like that. Men don't want that neither. And I think it goes both ways, to be honest. It's not,
right.
so I think when people, like, for me, when I have a song called Birkin Bag, actually,
Wow.
but the meaning behind the song is get on your grind,
Get on your
boy.
grind. Get
Get
on your
on your Birkin grind. I would be mad as hell if somebody gave me if my man got me a Birkin bag and didn't get me didn't get me no property first. like, give me something that I can pass on to my kids. You know what I mean? I'd
Right.
be mad if he gave me a Birkin bag before that, because that shit is expensive. I went to
It's
look at
expensive.
how much them bags cost, and that shit is expensive. So I think, ladies, please think of your Birkin bag as not that damn material ass bag. Like, it's a bag, girl. Be happy
Right.
with your Coach bag or with your shit. I'm happy with my little backpack, to be honest. I got a little Jansport backpack and I love that thing.
Right.
So think of your Birkin bag as you being in your bag, like, meaning you're in your Birkin bag. You feel me? Like,
Right.
you're going out to go get it. You're
Wow.
grinding. You're hustling. Think of
Right.
it like that. But material things is material things. They don't come with you when you die.
Right.
Unfortunately, they stay on Earth. So think of the things that you can pass on to your kids, and your kids aren't gonna give a shit about no damn Birkin bag.
Right. Once the new one come out, that's it's
You
nothing
feel
now.
me? Get
So
some
you
land.
talk legacy, properties, stuff like that. So you're on a whole nother level. So it's like I said, you're wise beyond your years. You definitely have an older soul, definitely mature. So let me ask you, growing up young, we're going through the 90s, 2000s, and all that.
Mhm.
Music has changed. What changes have you noticed, and pros and cons versus then to now? And how would you bring a balance?
I mean, shit, the biggest change is social media changed everything.
Right.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, it started with MySpace. That changed everything. I remember when my dad had to get on the radio, he had to pull up on the radio station and give them
Right.
a tape,
Right.
not a link, a
Right.
tape, physical
Right.
tape. He had to give that to them. Um, and nowadays, um, there's obviously cons to social media, but there's also some pros. And I do try to look at the positive side of things and stay optimistic about social media. Like, what does it do for me? And I will say that I've been able to reach out to people that I would never be able to even think about reaching out to, just because I wouldn't know who they were if it wasn't
Right.
for social media. Exhibit A. This is why we're on this interview
Podcast.
right now, because you know
Right.
what I mean. You were able to reach out through me, or to me, through Instagram Messenger, and back in
Right.
the day, you would just have to have my phone number. You'd have
Right.
to find that and get that from me. You know what I mean? But I was able to get on the radio station that way as well, because they heard the song. They saw my presence on social media. They were able to see when and where I would be performing. They were able to
Right.
pull up because of social media.
Wow.
So that's one of the biggest things I've seen. I also love, like, just like the different changes that happens throughout the years with music. How music is always, always, always evolving. There's always like this new sound, but we can always go back to the '90s and find that one gem that's just timeless, or back to
Right.
the early 2000s where this song is timeless. Um, so it's pretty cool seeing like the singers not being like singers anymore. You got a lot of people that are dropping songs that aren't even singers, they're rappers, and
Right.
they're putting out these dope classic songs. So I love to see it. And I mean, it's really inspired me as an artist, where I'm like, you know what, I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to be known as a singer or just a rapper or whatever. Like, I want to be known as an artist. Like, I want to be able to
Right.
do it all. Any subject or any genre of music, I want to be able to kill it. So I think it's really dope just being able to like mesh different styles. We just heard country and hip hop
Wow.
mesh together not too long ago. Like with
Right.
what's his name? He just dropped the song, Call Me by My Name. The cowboy guy. Rolling what's his name? I forgot his name.
You're not talking about Nas X,
Who?
Little Nas X.
Yeah, him. He was the
Wow.
one that put the country and the hip hop together. Like, that was
Right.
dope. Like,
Right. Right.
you never would have thought of that. Like, what, riding on my horse? What? Okay, cool. So, like, just the fact that music is always constantly evolving, that's dope to me. Like, I really don't have nothing bad to say about it, to be honest. Like, I'm not a hater when it comes to that. Even when it comes to like, you get this, sometimes you'll get this artist and they'll have this this album, you're like, oh, but the album, it ain't like the last one. It ain't supposed
Right.
to be. And I can always honor that.
Right. It's the
So yeah.
evolution. So let me ask you, let's play a
Yeah.
little quick game right quick. In the 90s,
Okay.
you said there's
Like,
always a jewel. Is a jewel of every era.
mm-hmm.
That one song,
Mm-hmm.
Jewel. When we take it to the 90s, what's your gem?
Ooh.
That's other 90s. What's your gem?
Just
Well,
one?
one of them.
I can only one?
You can pick as many as you want. In the 90s, what was your
I'm
gems?
definitely going to go with Aaliyah. Try Again. What?
First you don't
That was my
succeed.
jam. Like, I was me and my cousins there's a meme about this, but me and my cousins were in front of the TV trying to learn them dances.
Wow.
All them dances that Aaliyah was coming out. Like, I always wanted my mom to, I would say, Mom, can you press my hair like Aaliyah so I could put on that bandana like her? And I always wanted my hair like the Brat too, which is why you always see me in some braids, because the Brat.
The Brat was definitely ahead of her time. She definitely paved the way. Big salute to both of them, Aaliyah and the Brat. So that's when music was
Missy
fun.
Elliott too now. Come on.
Oh man, nasty. Now you
Hey,
bring in the big dogs. Yo, what Missy did was, like, she changed the game forever. Missy took creativity to a whole nother level. And they whole camp at that time.
People don't give her enough flowers. They just don't give her enough credit. If I could work with any producer in the whole wide world, Missy is definitely top 3 for me. Top 3. And she might be the number 1 that I would definitely love to work with. Like, Missy is crazy with it. She can sing, she can rap, she can write, she be producing. Like, people, she's amazing.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely. And the funny thing is, I heard the story. You might know this from working with Mr. Dalvin, but I heard that Missy and them started under Devontae Swing.
Yep.
With sisters. Wow.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because my dad was all up in that. Like, my dad, I remember my dad, he showed me a tape of when I think they were called Sisters. The group was called Sisters, yeah. And he has that tape because they were passing them out in New York.
Wow.
He was in New York when they was passing them out. When they, that's back in the day when they was doing street demo tapes, Yeah, you feel me? So yeah, I'm pretty sure my dad might still have that tape somewhere. But like, I remember seeing that and been like, oh, I didn't know Missy was a singer. Like, she was singing, as a little kid. So
singing. All right, so let's take it to the 2000s.
Okay.
What's your jams in the 2000s?
I don't want no scrubbing, get no love from me. Hanging at the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. What?
Yeah, TLC. So let me ask you, all women, y'all always have one that you relate to. Would you be the T, the L, or the C? Mm-hmm. Which one is you outside of music? Who's Rachel Bell? Let's see.
I'm gonna go with probably Left Eye for sure. Definitely Left Eye, because Left Eye was a thug. Like, Left Eye will get down on your ass.
Right.
But
Left Eye burn your house down is what she
went to Soul Search. Yep. She went to Soul Search. She started to ask questions, and I'm a big question asker. Like, if there's something that society says is this, that, I'm always like, why? Well, why you gotta be like that? You know what I mean? And I feel like Left Eye was like that. Left Eye was like, okay, I'm sick. Well, why I gotta stay sick? Now I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go adventure, and I'm gonna, talk to myself, be with myself, and talk to God. And like, yeah, I'd probably be Left Eye. She's dope.
Yeah, and that rest in peace to Left Eye. The thing about Left Eye, she was kind of like on the same vein as Aaliyah, but with a more thug. Because Aaliyah, she had you don't play with Aaliyah. Aaliyah was like you. She had the guns with her. Like, yo, I ain't got a gun, but they got the guns. But Left Eye kind of took it. You could tell she was influenced by Aaliyah as well. But Left Eye was kind of the thug, but same style, the athletic wear, the same, pretty girl. But Left Eye was a little more out there than Aaliyah. So we got the Scrubs in 2000s. TLC definitely had a nice run. They definitely locked the game down in the 2000s. So you were talking about SWV on one of the songs. They definitely had a long run. Let's bring it to 2010.
Oh, yeah.
From 2010 to 22, where we at now? What's your jam?
Okay. Lil Wayne. I'm going to go with Lil Wayne.
Wow. Lil Wayne.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I was in high school. I was listening to Lil Wayne and Gucci Mane. But Lil Wayne was my guy.
Okay,
Lil
so
Wayne was my guy.
now you're taking me fast, Rachel. I have to park the bus right here. I got to park the bus. I was gonna keep it going, but now I got to park the bus because all right, you're a model, you're a singer, businesswoman, classy. You definitely well spoken. You have good sense. Women, I'm noticing, not just you. A lot of some of the most sophisticated women, they have those moments where they like they trap. They like they
Pretty girls
ratchet
love
music.
trap music. What you mean?
So let me ask you, okay, what's your Gucci Man song that's gonna get you turned up?
I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I'm a dog.
I love it though. All right, so yo, Gucci Man, I'm a dog. Give me the Little Wayne. I know it's so many with Wayne, but give me
Oh
one
man.
song where Wayne comes on. You're gonna get up.
I mean, a milli. Come on, everybody knows that song.
Okay, slow it down. You're taking me
Top
fast.
of
Slow
that
it.
Nigerian hair. Come on, like what? He said that.
He said it. He said it. So wow, yo, I can't imagine you in traffic, with your music bumping, and you over there kicking a milli.
Yep,
Yeah,
loud.
that's the thing. So it's like from the outside looking in, you never know what's actually inside of a person. Because like I would never thought like, yo, she don't listen to that. She don't listen to trap rap. She don't listen to that. But yo, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. So okay, we're talking about the eras. You're a singer. Who would be your top 5 vocalists?
Dead or alive?
Both.
Whitney Houston, Beyonce, um, Brandy. Oh God, this is where it gets hard because I only got 2 more. A. Marie.
Oh man, see you going there now.
And okay, as a 5th one, I'm gonna name a dude. And please don't nobody say nothing else. I know there's a whole lot of greats out there. Cause I do love Miss Lauryn Hill too. And if I could just add her in there, I would too. But just because I want to add a male in there.
Right.
I'm gonna say, as for a male artist, one of the best vocalists to me, Chris Brown.
Wow, Chris Breezy. He's definitely been doing it a while. So let me ask you a question. There's a new thing going on. We all know about the verses. They put in Chris Brown. There's two pioneers. One, I'm scared to say his name. We know who that guy is. I'm scared to say his name.
Don't say Jacquees.
No.
Don't say R. Kelly.
Right. That guy. You said I didn't say his name. We can't say him. And I don't want to get canceled. I'm trying to get the podcast off the ground. I don't want to get it shut down before we start.
Support him.
We don't support him. So he's not even verses. He can't even show up to the verses.
Just after everything, it's hard.
It's too much.
You know, what I will say is if I could put all that, if I never heard about any of this,
the music catalog, just his music, not the person.
Yeah. If I never heard, it's just hard for me to make that decision just because of what I know. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's hard, especially knowing like what them songs were talking about. It's like,
man,
I used to like that song, but now this is the only thing I can think about when I listen to the song. Like, I don't know if I can do that. So, what's the other person that we saying versus?
I'm going to throw him in there. Because he's a legend. He goes by the name of Usher, baby.
Oh, okay.
So if we put Usher and Breezy, whose side of the room are you sitting in?
I do love Chris Brown, but as far as like the songs and the composing of the songs, I'm going with Usher. Like his songs are the ones I would know every single one of his songs. Like I would be able to sing every one of them songs. And that's the only reason why I would be like, I'd pick Usher, because there's so many songs I can think of right now where I'm just like, oh, that was my song. Like I love that song. Usher's amazing.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that you
And
said.
obviously, Chris Brown is one of my top 5 when it comes to some of the best vocals. So like,
Definitely.
I'm not hating on Chris Brown, but
No,
when it
no.
comes to songs catalog, there's a lot of dope Chris Brown songs. Chris Brown got him. He got the heat. But Usher just got them classics that you can never. When he came out with Confessions, come on. Right. Everybody know Confessions.
And I'm glad you know it, because you said a thing. You said you would be singing in his section all his songs, and you're thinking about all the songs, so you know them. You're a vocalist. I know you can do this because you've been doing it the whole show. Let me get a chorus from one of your favorite Usher songs.
Let me think. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see what song. Man. Let me think. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
All right.
I'm gonna go with going nowhere fast. We've reached the climax. That's all you get.
That's all you get. They got to come to the show for that. They got to hear the whole thing. They got to come to the show, buy a ticket, no free rides. But I knew you would kill it.
Now we're undone.
Yo, and I love it, yo. You're definitely an all-star, yo. You're definitely doing your thing. I got another video that I want to jump to because we got a lot. You've been doing a lot of videos.
I got more coming, man. I got more.
Yeah. So I want to jump into the video. We want to talk about the concept of how you came up with the song after. We're going to talk about the video, the treatment. Did you come up with the video and stuff like that as far as the treatment wise? And then we're going to talk about some of your performances because you've been doing a lot of performances as well as videos. So when we get back from the video, we're going to talk about that. Okay. All right, we're going to jump into it. Let's get it.
Talk it. I just move different. Yeah, I'm just minding my own business. Ain't got no problem, no drama. Keep it 100. I just move different. Sorry, I went missing. Had to go and take care of little business. Had to get back to loving me unconditionally. You see, I be overthinking. Hold up, let that sink in. I was all up in my feelings. All because I wasn't dealing. I know it's hard to understand my decisions, but know that every step is made with precision. Yeah, this is the path that I have chosen. I just be knowing the literature be flowing. I'm steadily growing. Cause life is just an experience that I don't wanna miss. I roll a paper plane and fly away and just enjoy this shit. I'm just minding my own business. I walk it like I talk it. I just move different. Yeah, I'm just minding my own business. Ain't got no problem, no drama. Keep it 100. I just move different. Minding my own business. I walk it like I talk it. I just move different. Yeah, I'm just minding my own business. Ain't got no problem, no drama. Keep it 100. I just
Yeah, I knew, I knew that this show wasn't ready.
My favorite song.
I knew when I started, when you said you was coming on the podcast, and I started going through grabbing these videos, I knew like they ain't ready for what's about to happen on the show right here, yo. And you just
Okay.
summed up the whole interview. You've been saying, yo, you just different. You're you. Take it as it is. That song was the perfect song that defines you. That's one of my favorite songs as well. Hold on, we
Thank
got a
you.
question in the bottom. The question is, boom, who is the engineer? Great work for everyone involved. So who is the
Thank
engineer
you. The
on the
engineer,
song?
shout out to Who is Raj from GBL Studios.
Wow.
Check him
And
out.
that's
You can literally just find him on Instagram, Who is Raj. And I think on Facebook, he's under Roger James. But he did some of the production on my latest EP, Bailey, Baely. He
wow.
produced 2 songs on there, Black Girl Magic and Ice Cream Truck. And he did all the engineering on there. So shout out to him. He's super young and super talented.
Yeah, that's dope right there. So okay. You get the beat. What's going through your mind for the I Move Different right there? Because that's personal to you. That song right there, from what
Oh,
you said,
man.
what you went through, that song, you didn't know the order. I shuffled the deck a little bit, but I'm like, I'm a surpriser. I didn't know that was your favorite, but that's one of my favorite
Good
songs.
one.
But
It's a
what we're
good one. It's my
right.
favorite.
So what we're talking about Move Different, that beat come in. What was that writing session like?
Oh man, what's crazy is that so another little jewel I'm gonna drop is on my project, my latest project, Bailey. Um, the majority of those songs are actually recorded at my house. Like,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I just created a home studio, and God bless Roger James, Mr. Who is Raj, because he's the one that was like, hey, I'm gonna help you engineer this. Like, I just want, like, let's get it sounding right. Like, you got the recording equipment. Like, let me get it right. Let me get it sounding right for you.
Wow.
So I recorded that in my house, and I remember just going through a lot during that time, and just like, when you're making a name for yourself and there's other artists in the city, of course you're going to be compared to those artists, you know what I mean?
Right.
People are going to try to compare you to these artists and say you sound like this, or you look like this or that and the third. And for me, like, it's crazy because I'd be like, yo, like, I'm not comparing myself to nobody that's local. Like, y'all don't
Right.
understand. Like, I look at the greats, and that's who I'd be looking at. Like, not really comparing myself, but just like really just trying to learn from them. So I was just going through a lot. Like, yo, why do y'all keep comparing me to people? Like, why do
Right.
y'all keep trying to do this to me? And so I just had to let it be known. Look, I move different. Like, I don't care who don't like me. I don't. I care about the ones that do like me, but I don't
Wow.
care about the ones that don't like me. I
Right.
move different. I don't got no problems. I don't got no issues. Like, none of that. None of that. I don't hold no grudges. I don't hate nobody. I'm just full of love. I move different. Like, I'm not about to move when I'm not about to jump when you tell me to jump. You know what I mean? No matter how big you are, I'm not gonna be out here spreading my legs open in order to get what I want in this industry or whatever. No, I'm not doing that. I'm moving different. I'm gonna grind. It's gonna take a little bit more work. It might take a little more time, but I'm okay with that. I trust my path. I trust the destination that I'm on my path. And I trust that I trust the journey that I'm on my path. And I trust that through my path and my journey, the combination of the two, I'm going to reach my destination. I move different.
Yeah, and you're definitely on your way there. You're definitely accomplishing big things. So for the people that's watching, that's like they just instant fans. There's no way you watch that video and you're not a
Mhm.
fan. So let's talk about your discovery. Like, let's talk about your projects you have done in the order. What was the first project you done?
My first project was Bailey. That's the one that I just dropped last year.
Wow.
That was the
Okay. So
first official one.
first official. So you dropped that. What was the response to the record?
It was great. I actually dropped different at the top of the year before I dropped the whole project. So
Wow.
um the response to different was actually a lot of people. It wasn't a huge response to it. What's crazy is that I got a lot of response from celebrities, like random. Like, I was seeing all kind of blue checks in my DMs on Instagram. No lie, like, no
Right.
cap in this at all. Like, they all loved that song. It's just at the time I think my fans were looking for something different in me.
Right.
So it wasn't it didn't catch on quite soon, but I do believe in the song, and I do believe that the song maybe later on is gonna really open up and pop off on the right time that it needs to. But either way, like it was a way for me to release. Like when you see
Right.
the video, like everything that we talked about, I tell you, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm an open book. Like I'm gonna always just tell you who I am, and truthfully, that video right there is exactly what we talked about when I said, when you said, what, how or ways are you able to, get out of the funk? And
Right.
nature and everything that I'm talking about in my song, I had to, I had to go and I had to get right with myself. I had to get back to myself, I had to heal myself. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I wasn't dealing with. And like that, through that video, it just really showed exactly the way that I do it. I go out, music, I'm in the studio, I express myself, and I lean on nature as well. I go out by myself, I'm walking on ice out there, like on a lake, a frozen lake, and
Right.
like there's so much symbolism in that, so much symbolism. And then basically that is symbolism of faith. It's having faith, is taking that risk. You're gonna get
Right.
on this ice, you're gonna be worried about breaking through and drowning, or you just gonna float on it and just live and thrive. That's
Yo,
it, man.
that's powerful right there, yo. That's deep, and you're deep. You're a deep artist, and you're definitely,
I
like you say, you're not just a singer. You're an artist because you're creative. Let's talk
am.
about the visual. Like, who came up with the treatment for the video?
I did. I come up
So,
with all the treatments and visuals, all the directing. It's all me. I just have a fantastic team that's able
right.
to support me and help bring that visual to life every time. So
Wow. Okay. So we dropped Belly. We got this song, that I'm Different.
mhm.
We got the one we're not going to talk about to the end, which is my second favorite song. We're going to save that one for the end. All right. So Belly drops. The celebrities are now saying, yo, you got you one. They're hitting you up. You're seeing the blue checks. Now, let's take them back. We started at 16. Now the grind is paying off.
Mhm.
Some of the celebrities that you may have looked up to along the way are in your DM saying, yo, that record is something serious. What did
Shout
that
out to
moment?
Mario.
All right. We talking about Let Me Love You, Mario?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Salute to Mario. Yo, I like Mario as well. He's definitely
Crazy,
another
man.
one. Yo, so that's powerful. So what was that feeling like? Now it's like, okay, you're putting your heart in your craft. You done put in the work. Now you have people that's in the game that's established saying, yo, I like what you're doing. How did that feel?
Um, it's crazy because like now, just where I am right now, I'm just really starting to see how human everybody is. That's
Wow.
all. Like you're human. We're all humans. We all bleed the same. Money might change people, but it really don't change how you bleed. It don't change how you breathe in the air. It don't change how we go out. We all have one destination, one end result, and that's death.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're all gonna get there at some point. So we're all human. There's nothing that's gonna make you better than me and me better than you. That's all
Right.
up to you and your head and your world. So,
Right.
but seeing that, it really just made me realize, yeah, this is the way it's supposed to be. Like this is
Right.
how things are supposed to be. I'm supposed to be talking to these people. So
Wow.
I don't get nervous when I hear from these people and when I talk to them. I'm not gonna be kissing your ass. Like I'm who I am and I'm always gonna be me. Um,
Right.
it's humbling just because I'm like, I see you, God. Like you had to show me a few things first so that way I knew how to handle things like this, like meeting
Wow.
celebrities and things like that. But now I just feel like I'm one of the stars, man, and not on no cocky stuff. It's just one of those things where it's like, but I'm gonna be one of them that knows what to do with it. You know what I mean? I want to be
Right.
one of those that knows what to do with it. And one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to how people move within this industry is J. Cole. I love the way he
Wow.
moves. I love that he puts out
J.
powerful,
Cole.
meaningful music, and he's in his community. I know because I lived in Fayetteville. I lived
Right.
right in the hood in
Wow.
Fayetteville, across from a school that he used to go to. That he would be out. That he started a book club at for the kids. He would be
Wow.
out on that blacktop with the kids shooting basketball. And everybody in the hood in Fayetteville, they wasn't tripping off of him. They love him, but it wasn't tripping super hard because he was always there. So it wasn't.
Right.
And Nipsey Hussle is another one of my favorites too.
Wow.
Rest in peace to him, because he was in his community and he was never afraid to be there for his people. And like that's what I would want to do. Like if I was ever to catch a glimpse or a taste of stardom, if I was ever able to blow up, I would want to use that for that purpose. And I don't care if it didn't make me a big super mega star. I don't care. Like I just want to leave a legacy here. I want to leave something positive here for all the kids and everything. You know, just same way Tupac did, man. Rest in peace to Tupac too. Tupac was one of them real dudes, man. Like he put a lot of heart. He made them songs cry. He left a legacy that people still quote his lyrics, and even just his interviews. They still quote the things that he said today, tattoo them on their bodies. He's influenced people and inspired people to become better writers, rappers, go-getters. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do, man. That's what I'm trying to do.
Wow. Yo, and like I said, you handling it like a pro. You can tell that you definitely put a lot of hard work and it's paying off, and it's your due time, it's your due season. So let me ask you, with the verses, right? We're going to shift gears and lighten it up a little bit. Definitely God's blessing you, and he's going to continue to keep blessing you. We're going to shift the focus and lighten the mood a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the verses. You brought up Brandy earlier. Brandy had verses with one of my favorites. With Monica. Mm-hmm. Did you get to watch the verses?
Absolutely. Of course.
All right. And your words, what did you think about the verses? And who were you going in with? Were you
team Brandy? I really. You know what? I was team. I just want to see a dope versus, because I'm a fan of both of them. A really big fan of both of them. Now, I will say that I probably connect a little more with Brandy with her music, but I connect with Monica a little more when it comes to like who she is as a person, like her personality. So it was just really, I thought it was just a beautiful thing to see these two women have this competition, but yet be there for each other and be like, oh girl, this was my song, you know, they supporting each other, and like just seeing the love that they have, especially because they've worked with each other, and you know what I mean, they went through some stuff with each other, and just seeing two great, phenomenal women, phenomenal talents be able to get online and show little girls and women like myself that you can be talented and beautiful and still support another talented and beautiful woman. And it's not going to take away from your shine. It's not going to take away from anything from who you are as a person. Like, you can still do it, and it's actually going to add value to who you are, to your character. So that was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, that's dope. And then there was another one.
Okay.
There was another one. Wasn't the same situation. It wasn't the same. It wasn't too much celebrating going on.
I was Gucci Mane, okay? All day.
Well, we got Gucci Mane and Jeezy. Gucci wild out, but I was gonna keep it singing. But now that you bring it up, so you was team Gucci with Jeezy?
Yeah, of course I was team Gucci, man. I was team Gucci, man. No, but I love Jeezy though. I do love Jeezy because it's crazy. I was vibing, like when I was listening to the verses, I was definitely in there like, it's my chick, Jeezy. Like, went back. I had to go back and listen to his music again because that's my boy too. You know, Jeezy a rider. And I was in North Carolina when everything had dropped, and I knew about Jeezy before I did Gucci Mane. Like Jeezy is the OG to me. Like, well, I won't say OG, but he's the vet when it comes to the rap game, because Jeezy was out there before Gucci Mane was popping. But yeah, I was good team Gucci Mane because I just rock with the way Gucci Mane carried himself and how he's just such a real dude. Like him as a person, like I rock with him. And I was in high school when all his music was hot and jumping, and so like it definitely brought back a lot of memories. But I do love how Jeezy was able to handle everything at the end when things started getting a little hype. I love that he was able to be like, look, bro, what's in the past is in the past, and like it's already too many black men out here dying. We don't need to be on that. We don't need to be killing each other. Like, and I love that because to me, Jeezy is Bay Gang. He definitely represented the Bay Gang the right way. He was an example and was able to just swallow his pride and be like, all right, look. And then play the song with them two together. I thought that was dope. Even Gucci Mane had to like give him respect for that. Like,
he broke him down with that one. He had to like, yo, all right, yo, all right. You know, but it was personal, so everybody know the history with them. That was tough. That was big on both parts to be able to forgive and move forward. So Icy was great for the culture.
Absolutely.
Right. Now let's go back to the R&B side of things.
Okay.
Ashanti. Keisha Cole. What was up with it?
I'm going with Keisha, man. What you mean?
You team Keisha?
Team Keisha all day, yo. I like Ashanti. I do like Ashanti, but again, like I'm big on energy, man, and like I was able to be blessed with the privilege to be able to be in a clubhouse with Keisha Cole. And I was on the floor with her and I was able to just talk to her for a second, and like she is so humble. She's so dope. She's so real. I love the street in her. I love the classiness in her. I love how she make all her songs cry the way she do. I love how she pours all her emotions into all her songs. Like when we're sad, us women, when we're sad, we gonna throw on that Keisha Cole. Okay. Your man cheated on you. What song you playing? I should have cheated. We're playing that song. Okay. That's what's happening.
Yo, and truth be told, men, we even throw on a little Keisha Cole sometimes. We get not around y'all. Not around y'all. We get on the highway and we put on. Oh yeah.
I know y'all get in the shower singing that.
Two of my favorite songs from Keisha Cole would be Heaven Sent.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like Heaven Sent, and then I'm a big Monica fan. So I think it's called Trust.
Oh yeah. That song? Is that the song? No, that's
So Gone.
That is the
Trust
song,
is her and Keisha Cole, Monica and Keisha Cole.
Oh, So Gone. That's So Gone. What's how does Trust go? I can't remember that one.
It's the I can't sing. Yeah, we'll do it after once we get off air. I'll hum it for you.
Come on.
Yo, it's when you love someone or something like that. When you love someone, then
okay, yeah. Okay, that was
me, baby. Yeah. See, you put me out there. My career just finished. I won't be getting booked no time soon, thanks to you. But
this is a judge-free zone. You're safe here, okay?
I appreciate it, yo. So now, okay, you put Belly out. What was the follow-up? Is that the project that we're working on now, or did you put out some singles, or what came after the Belly project?
Nope. So Bailey is out, and I'm actually about to drop my first single now. I did drop 4 songs in the past month. If you ain't a real fan, you don't know this. But to all my real fans out there, my real bays out there, you know that I dropped 4 songs. They're all collaborative songs. So there's other artists, amazing artists that are on those songs. I just did a collaboration with DNA Picasso from here in Denver, Colorado. I did a song with Doobie Newton out here. He's from Colorado. Sway, he's another one that is from Colorado. And then I also did a song with the collaborations with an amazing talented, super gifted artist named Toon Gotti. He's from Wyoming, Cheyenne, Wyoming. And please, when I tell you that he's amazing, I want you to like not take that lightly, because this kid really is a genius. He's helped me write a number of songs that's going on the next project. We actually have a project that we have been working on together. That's one of 4 of the projects that I'm on. We have a whole project together where we just worked on this. This dude can freestyle his ass off. Like I've never been able to literally like see someone. I've heard of these people. I've seen these people on Instagram, on explore pages and stuff. People that can freestyle off of anything. He can point to something on the wall and he can freestyle. But I've never seen nothing like this in person until I met that dude. So please, y'all, please go and follow Toon Gotti. everywhere. Tune Gotti, man. Get in tune as his Instagram handle. He spells his name with a T or with a two. So number two
Wow.
UNE Tune GODI. So he's amazing. Please,
Wow.
please, I'm telling you, he's really dope. So that's what I've been doing is I've been dropping those singles with the collaborations. I've been working on the projects. I've been doing a lot of writing, and I have also another project coming. But before the projects, I'm going to give everybody a little taste with the singles that I have dropping.
Right.
And one of the singles that I have dropping is called Trip. And it's
Wow.
so good. It's so different from anything that I've ever put out. And I'm really excited for everybody to hear this because it's just not anything that like I've ever put out. It is me. Like y'all are really going to hear with this new music that I have. You're gonna really hear the fully developed artist that I've grown into be.
Wow.
Like I can't wait. I'm excited, y'all.
And that's May 7th. It comes out May 7th.
May 7th. May 7th. It's gonna be out on all platforms, and then soon to follow with that, of course, we gotta drop a dope ass visual to go with it.
Wow.
But I got a lot of music that's dropping this year. A lot. Like I'm just taking risks this year. Like I've always wanted to be a Lil Wayne singer,
Right.
meaning like I'm a singer, but I'm just dropping, bow, bow,
Everything.
bow, bow. Like I always wanted to be able to do that. So
Right.
that's what I'm working on being able to do right now. It's just I got my catalog up, and I feel like every single song on the catalog is just fire. It is crazy. Like, and I don't ever talk about my music like that because I'm
Right.
always just so critical of myself. But this one right here, I made these songs cry. Like every single one of them are just fire. You can hear the passion in them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope right there. I'm definitely excited about that one. So that's the Trip, and then the songs will be coming out. So you're gonna drop a couple singles now. So all right, you got growth. What type of sound is it? A different sound? Like what type of sounds are you tapping into on the new single?
Oh man, last night I was just in the studio last night, and I did like a European house type song. That's
Wow.
crazy. It sounds
Right.
so good. I tapped into rapping. Like y'all gonna hear me rap, spit a little some. Y'all gonna hear me on some pop songs. Y'all gonna hear me on the R&B, the what's it called? The like alternative R&B, some
Oh, wow.
live sounds, some soul, some neo soul, because I don't want nobody to box me in ever. That's why I love Beyonce so much, because Beyonce and Rihanna like never let anybody box them in. Never let anybody just call them an R&B singer. No, you can't
Right.
call them artists that. You can't even call them pop really. They
Right.
are artists. They can do it all. They can do whatever they want. Like, and I love that. So that's what I'm coming with. I'm coming with all that kind of flavor. I got different flavors, y'all. So
Wow.
many different flavors, like a whole ice cream shop over here.
I feel you on that, yo, and that's dope right there. So you just brought up two other powerhouses. That would be a dope versus. Who would you go for? Team Beyonce or Team Riri? Who you rolling with?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Who you rolling with?
Oh, that's not fair.
Hey.
I mean,
Yep.
I love Rihanna. I love Rihanna, but I probably would go for Beyonce
Right.
just because like Beyonce is Beyonce, man.
Wow.
Like her pipes is crazy. The fact that she can dance her ass off and perform the way she does, because before Beyonce, when it came to performing, like my biggest performing inspiration, before Beyonce, it was Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson has always been one of my favorite top performers because of like the amount of control she has in her breath when she's on stage. You can tell that she really works her ass off, and she takes her work serious when it comes to performing. But I saw that same spark with Beyonce, and how she is able to get it
Right.
and then go straight into just singing and having so much vocal control. That's a lot of hard work right there. But of course, I love Rihanna because she's a great businesswoman, man. She's a boss. And I love that if you get on Twitter talking crazy to her, she gonna let you know what's up. But when it comes to verses, when it comes to music, some of my favorite songs are definitely, I got a lot from Rihanna, but I think probably the favorite songs would outweigh Rihanna a little bit. When it comes to Beyonce songs, I'd probably rock with Beyonce a little bit more.
Okay, so let's stick with the dance and performers. Let's throw three people in the ring real quick. Let's throw Janet
Okay.
in. Let's
Yes.
throw Beyonce.
Okay.
Let's throw Aaliyah in there. Who you rolling with?
Janet.
You
Easy.
going with Janet?
Easy.
She laid the foundation for the
Easy.
Beyonces
Yeah.
and Aaliyah. Okay, so
Absolutely.
let's do another one. Let's throw Mary, vocal wise, with songs catalog. Let's throw Mary. I'm gonna let you. Who would you put in there with Mary
For a versus?
for verses? Mary J. Blige
Faith
versus.
Evans. Faith Evans.
All right, now let me ask you. All right, I love Faith Evans. I love
I'm
Faith
going with
Evans
Mary
to death.
J.
All right, I'm saying because it's like the catalogs are kind of like this. Now, when you think of Faith Evans and Mary, because it's kind of like Faith Evans done a lot of writing,
Yeah.
but Mary has the history, the time. So it's like, I think Mary might have 10 albums or something like that. I think Faith may have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So you rocking with Mary?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
So
only
what if
reason
we?
why I said Faith Evans is just like vocal, you know what I mean? Just how,
They're the same,
just they got that similar vibe, you know? Bad boy
right?
thing.
And I actually think Faith. I think actually Faith wrote a couple of Mary big hits before
If
she
you
got
listen
started.
close too, she actually did some of the background vocals as well.
Right. See, everybody would know that, but you're a singer, so you picked up on that. So
Mhm.
it's always this debate, right? Mary's the queen of R&B,
Okay.
but then you have one they say the queen of pop, Mariah Carey.
Oh,
Who wins?
I'm
Mary, Mariah.
I'm going for Mary. I love you, Mariah, but Mary. I think even Mariah would be like, Mary though.
Wow. Okay. So this is my
I'm just
cousin
saying.
actually in the
Oh, somebody
comments.
said
So
Kelly Price. That's
yeah,
a
that's
good
my
one.
cousin. He threw Kelly Price in. So if what you think if Kelly Price jumped in the ring, you think she'd stand a chance, or you gonna stick with who you sticking with?
I mean, I would just stick with Mary because, to be honest, like Mary was big, way bigger than Kelly Price. Kelly Price is dope. Now, for the
Right.
real art, for the people that really know R&B, you
Right.
know Kelly Price. When it come to them vocals, that woman can sing. She
Right.
can sing her ass off. She'll sing this whole roof off this gong. She
Right.
will sing it off. She can
Wow.
blow.
Right.
But as far as catalog, Mary's got that, man. Mary got so many classics, so many
Right.
hits that when you hear it, you gonna cry, or you might hit her little step, whatever she be doing on
Right.
stage.
Oh yeah, you got the. I mean, it wouldn't be Mary if she didn't do that step. That's when you know. Oh, we about to have a good time tonight. When she hits that step, oh yeah, Mary. But the thing is, this is one thing about Mary, and I love Mary to death. I grew up on Mary. Mary's definitely the queen of hip hop and R&B, all of that. The thing is with Mary, it's like most of her most powerful songs came from pain. It came from things she was going through. It came from abuse. It came from, even drinking and stuff like that. But it's another one that we brought up earlier that was going through a lot of pain, was going through a lot of addictions. But she was a mega star. So I don't want to say like the battle of the pain. I would say that versus the substance and stuff. We'd stick with the battle of the pain artists. Mary J., Whitney Houston. Who are you going to roll with?
Oh man.
All right, you make
When it
the
comes
wrong
to
people
expressing
mad.
the pain in their music,
The pain, making the song cry, feeling it, catalogs, everything. However you want to judge it, because they both powerful in their own
I
ways.
mean,
They're two statues.
I think that Whitney put her pain in her vocals, but she didn't always put her pain in her music, if that makes sense.
Right.
It was in her voice. That's where she put that. That's why she was able to hit them notes. That's why she was able to make you feel it when she sang a lot. The greatest song, some of her greatest songs, I'm Every Woman, and I want to dance with somebody. She put that pain in her vocals, but I always put the pain in her music. And one thing that I can say about Mary is that she put her pain into her music, meaning she talked about that shit. She said, no, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. Like, come on. Like, she did that number of times. And many of those songs are songs that we think of, like, oh, what's that? Oh, one of my favorite songs by Mary J. Blige is it goes, if you look in my eyes and see what I see. Da 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 da. That, come on now. Like, when you think of Mary's songs where she really made a song cry, Mary took that. And I'm not even comparing vocals. I'm not comparing Mary J. Blige's vocals to Whitney Houston, because Whitney, to me, takes that.
Right.
Off top, she takes that. But when it comes to putting pain in your song, in the music, Mary is the top dog of doing that. Like, I don't know anybody on an R&B standpoint, any woman that has been able to do that like Mary has. And it's kind of sad, because once Mary got happy, people was like, oh, we missed the sad Mary.
Wow, yo.
It's kind of sad that happened, but she made a song cry for real.
She did, yo. And it's like, that's the thing with
know what
artists.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like, yo, somebody need to break her heart again, because it's like, yo, for a while, Mary hit a dry spot. But it's like, that's the thing with being an artist, and you being an artist as well. I'm pretty sure you can relate. It's like, it's kind of like Kevin Hart said it best. In his sense, he said, you're laughing at my pain.
Sure can. Look.
When it comes to these artists, it's like they celebrate your pain. It's kind of like they embrace your pain in their low moments.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's like the power of music, where it's like you're going through something, you express it in a song. Now people gravitate to it. Even like you said with Keisha Cole, that's her fan base. Is off of that. Mm-hmm. The price that you pay to make these records and this fame. Let's talk about it a little bit in your life. What's some of the pain that you've been through that made you who you are?
Oh, it's so crazy, man. So pain started a long time ago for me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I was in some really, really bad situations at home. A lot of abusive situations and things like that growing up. Oh man, a lot of dark times when I was a little kid. I told you I'd grow up really fast, and dealing with my emotions and things like that. That was something very new for me as a kid. I wasn't taught how to do that. So I started out young, dealing with all that. But what I'll say as an adult is, my recent breakup is it's crazy, because when everybody started to catch on that I had just went through a bad breakup, that's when people started hitting me up and was like, yo, I don't want to sound like messed up or inconsiderate for your feelings, but you're about to drop some dope music.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, because y'all know, like, music saved my life. And when I'm in pain, that's when I want to write the most. When I'm upset, when I'm emotional, it could even be I'm happy, but when I'm emotional, that's when I make the best music. And I think when you hear this project, you're going to be able to hear all the ups and downs. You're going to hear when I was really, really sad, when I felt like nothing was going to get better. You're going to hear when I started to heal. You're going to hear when I was on my hot girl shit, when I was just like, you know what? Screw these dudes. I'm about to get my money. Like, I'm about my money. I'm about my bag. Like, that's all I want. And then you're going to hear some of the songs where I'm just like, I'm just myself. Like, can we just talk about some real shit? Like, let's talk about like what's really going on, like who I am as a person. I'm strong. I'm good. I feel good. Like, my body, like, I feel really good about the person that I am. So you're gonna hear all, like, I'm gonna take you on a whole emotional roller coaster with me, because I had all quarantine long 2020 to just express myself and get in my feelings. A lot of times, very long, dark, cold nights. And those are the nights that I made some of the best music of my life. So,
All
right.
So you said a powerful thing. You built the studio in the crib. So in the quarantine, now you have, this is kind of like a therapy. So you're making your music, you're recording. All right. How was that transition going from just the artist now to recording yourself? What was that process like for you?
So during quarantine, I actually recorded myself for my project, which my project I had been working on in 2019. I just dropped it in 2020. Um,
Okay.
and to answer your question, being able to work there, like by myself, on Ableton using one of the most advanced DAW systems there is. That's Ableton. I
Right.
chose that one because I wanted to be able to master that one, so that way I knew how to go into other DAW systems. And so it taught me a lot on how to speak to engineers and tell them
Wow.
what I wanted and how I wanted it. Especially just being able to record myself, I was able to see like how to make things cleaner. I'm not the best at this shit. I'm not no engineer or nothing like that, but I was able to
Right.
work on it myself and learn how to record myself, and maybe get feedback from my engineer and say, hey, next time you record, make sure you step back from the mic, or make sure you pull it forward, or make sure the mic is directed right where your mouth is.
Wow.
Yeah, I just really just learned how to get in the big studios and kill it. Like, so now, like, I feel like when I was younger, I was really nervous getting into the studio because I didn't know what was happening. Like, I didn't,
Right.
I'm a person, I told you, I ask a lot of questions because I need to understand things. Like, understanding is very, and comprehending is very, very important to me. So I just needed to understand what I was doing, like what was happening, what they were doing to my vocals and things like that. So now when I get in the studio, I'm super comfortable. Like Nipsey said, like when I get in here in this booth, I'm real comfortable. I
Yeah.
don't ever even want to come out. Like, let's just go to the next song. I'm not coming out this booth. Like, I'll sleep in here. Like, I'll be in here every day
Wow.
of my life. Never come out.
Wow.
So that's what that taught me.
Right. So now you have the creative control. So it's like you get that urge. It's not like before where it's like you have to jot it down and record it now. It's like
Right.
now the idea comes to you. You could just go in the other room. So you have that creative freedom that
Mm-hmm.
opens up more creativity. So let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you a real question. So those times when you're not feeling creative,
Mm-hmm.
you might be going through writer's block. You might be going through whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
How do you bounce back and still? So say like if you had a deadline,
Mm-hmm.
what's your tricks to get
I get
past that?
inspired. I get inspired, and traveling is one of my biggest ways of getting that inspiration. Going to see something I never seen before is gonna spark that inspiration. I had one of those writer's blocks like last year, towards the end of last year. I had
Right.
made so much music and I felt like all my creative juice just like was drained. I was like, okay, whew,
Wow.
I don't know what else to talk about. Like, I keep talking about the same thing over and over. And so I was able to go to Mexico and celebrate my best friend's birthday. And I stayed there for like a little, like 8 days. I stayed there, just
Right.
out there chilling, just in the jungles, and just living it up. And that gave me so much inspiration. So
Wow.
when I came back, I was able to talk about, like, it's so funny because, like I said, like the deeper you get into this game, the more you really start to understand what celebrities are talking about. And a
Right.
lot of the things that they talk about when they're talking about traveling, and the things that they see and the things that they buy, it's literally because that's what they're doing. That's what they're pulling their inspiration from.
Right.
So that's why I always tell people to be yourself and talk about things that either you want to manifest into your life, or things that you're already going through that's happening right now, because that's real inspiration. People are going to hear that growth in you. And like, that's what I hear in other artists. Like, when I listen to Rick Ross or when I listen to Lil Wayne, and I'm able to understand how they're getting inspired. And so for me, it's traveling. And
Wow.
lucky for me, I have National Geographics right there. I can go
Right.
get lost in the mountains, go see some waterfalls, get lost in the mountains, see a bear or something. And then, I can also just catch a flight to Cali. It's right there,
Right.
to Vegas, to Mexico. Mexico's only 3 hours away on a flight, 3.5
Wow.
hours. So, just go, travel, get inspired. That's what I do. When I hit that, I honor it. I honor the creative block. And
Right.
I know it's just because, hey, you need to see something. You need to change your environment. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. And speaking of traveling, you got a single, right? You
Mhm.
went out of space with it. You went
Mhm.
past Mexico. You went past Cali. You went to the moon. You went to the moon with it. Yeah. So, yo, tell me what inspired that track, To the Moon, and how did you come about it?
So it's actually not even my song. It's DNA Picasso's song, To the Moon.
Wow.
He was just like, yo, I see you're in your bag right now. This is right fresh from my breakup. And I was just like sad. I just started working at the club as a bottle girl, and I was just kind of like sad, and just God bless DNA, because he was like, he knew that music is one of those ways that I could just step outside myself and just, well, become, or step into myself rather. And he was like, yo, come, I got the song, like I think you'd be really dope on, I think you're gonna be able to just flex on it. He sent me the song, and I was like, okay. And at first I was like, I don't know if I like this subject, but then I started listening to it more, and I was like, wait, I could respond how I would want to respond to a dude. Like, basically, bro, like, I'm a savage. You're not gonna treat me like I'm average. Like, you're not gonna be out here treat me like I'm just like nobody. Like, I'm the one. I am the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am her. Like, I am that one. And you're gonna have to respect me. I was on my little Riri tip, like, bow down to me. Like, no, this is about the women. We gonna flex on you. And you know, that was that for me. I'm about my bag. Like, you know, you hear that in there. You can tell I was really about that back then. I was just like, I'm about my bag, I'm about my paper. Like, I'm not worried about you dudes. Like, I'm not worried about dating or anything that y'all think about me. I'm here to get my bag, and I want all my ladies to be on the same thing too. What's up, girls? Y'all want to make a bag? Let's make a bag together. Like, that's what I was on. So that's what inspired that for me personally. I'm not sure what exactly inspired it for him, but for me, that's what I was on. I was just like, I'm about my bag. Like, I'm just about my paper. I'm just out here to get it. And bye, dudes. Bye, you boys.
Right. I feel you. That. No boys allowed. So we on the outside looking in. We can't come in. Yo, so tell me about look, but don't touch. So tell me about the video. How was the process? What was it like on the set? And how did y'all come up with the concept for the video?
What's crazy is that y'all would never believe where we shot at. Because it was literally like 2 rooms. Like 2 super small rooms inside of this clothing store. Hella small. And like, it just had a whole bunch of lit up stuff and like just random stuff. It was like a little super mini like selfie museum, like hella small. I don't know if they have those out there in North Carolina, selfie museums.
Nah,
yeah, that's weird, right? They have them here. It's selfie museums where you can like go into this museum and take a bunch of pictures on different like backdrops and rooms. It's cool, but it's just like, wow, this is some new era shit for real. But basically, yeah, that's where we shot it at. We had a whole dance routine you saw with the dancers, and we were like, oh, this is really small. We don't even know if we're going to be able to dance in here. But we did it. We pulled it off. Sammy is an amazing videographer. Sam, the one that shot the whole video, he's really fire. So he was able to get them angles. And we just went in there. We didn't even know how we were going to like pull it off, how we were going to shoot it. We were just like, let's just vibe. Let's just flex and vibe. Like, be ourselves and just talk about the song. Like, feel the way the song feels in the video.
And it definitely works. So, yo, with that being said, I'm going to let you introduce it, and we're going to jump right to it real quick.
Yeah. We got DNA Picasso with To the Moon featuring me and the other Picasso. I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Hopefully they'll show it. Yeah, hopefully show it in the credits. So we're going to jump to it.
All right, let's get it.
When the girls come out in the nighttime, they on that time, that demon time. She like to mix her lean with a white wine. She on that time, that demon time. So let's go to the room, girl, and we can flow to the moon, girl. Let's go,
yeah. Let's get it, I'm digging your style. It's been a little while since I seen something so fine. Can give me a child. Lil' mama wild, yeah, she scheming. Ayy, pop out at night like a demon. Ayy, do what she want when she need it. Ayy, she so sly, so greasy. Ayy, if she got a nigga, she cheating. If I slide now, she leaving. But bring your friends, don't leave her. Ayy, come through, no, we ain't sleeping. Don't be scared, give me that cookie. Put you on the stove like we cooking. I'm my own boss, niggas can't shoot me. She said I'm waiting on children, I cook. I heard the freeze come out in the nighttime. Yeah, they on that demon time. Slide back to the crib when with my nigga, we can catch a vibe. If he throw that thing at me, I promise I'ma hit it right.
When the girls come out in the nighttime, they on that time, that demon time. Shit like a mix of lean with a white wine. She on that time, that demon time. So let's go to the roof,
Yeah, let's go.
and we can flow to the roof, girl. Let's go.
Average, well, I'm a savage. I'm on my lettuce and my green, I'm on my cabbage. I got the package, looking like snackage. And my booty so fat, you wanna grab it. I got a cold heart, baby, doing the damage. And I see you got a bag, taking advantage. I'ma have your real sprung, where you using that tongue. Know I got that web wop, super soaker real talk. Cardi B drop a slip with it, ain't no regular bitch with it. If it ain't about the money, bag, get the steppin', I ain't hearing it. I ain't bout my bag, big bag and I'm deep in it. Yeah, I ain't bout my bag, big bag and I'm deep in it, deep in
When the
it.
girls come out in the nighttime, they on that time, that demon time. Shit like a mix of lean with a white wine. She on that time, that demon time. So let's go to the moon, baby. Let's go.
Yo, that's another dope record right there. So, so y'all killed the visual.
That's probably
Y'all
like the
definitely
second time I watched that video.
Wow, yo, and it's definitely so that song you dropped that that's recently. That just came out, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's
That
making
just came out.
traction. It's definitely a dope song right there. You got a dope record. Somebody text me a question for you. And then we're gonna jump back into the interview. They asked me a question. They didn't want to put it in there. So they text me. They said if you could go see three entertainers, it could be from any industry. What's three entertainers that you would love to see? Whether it's comedians, singers, Tyler Perry, three entertainers that you would love to meet.
I would say Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
I would say definitely Beyonce.
Beyonce.
I want to talk to her. And I would say the third person would be dead or alive. Alive, right?
You could do Dead or Alive.
Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain. Ooh, you went deep with Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would have a lot of. I would love to be able to just. God rest his soul, but I would have loved to been able to just like have dinner with him and talk to him.
Wow. Right. A lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge right there. Then we have somebody else said, how long you been rapping?
Rapping?
They filling the bars. He put the fire. He put the fire. He said, how long you been rapping? He ready to get the CD now. He said, what's going on?
Shoot. I just started rapping.
Right.
Honestly, I just started like I've always like played around, like didn't actually put it in a song or release anything. So I just started, and again, special shout out to Gotti because he is a rapper. He really helped pull that out of me. Like he was just like, nah, like this is what's gonna elevate you. This is what's gonna separate you from a lot of stuff, is when you're able to actually spit some bars. And like that one that you heard is cool, but I can't wait till y'all hear like the other songs that I have too. Like, cause I really, really, really went deep down, and I was able to co-write a lot of these songs and just like make it something just fire. Like y'all not gonna expect this, but thank you. Shout out to, who was it? Juice something?
Yeah, Juice. Yeah, that's
Big shout out
actually
to Juice.
Raw One from Team Collective. That's his little brother. He's
big salute. Thank you. Thank you for the recognition. That makes me happy, because it's definitely one of them things I had to become very, very vulnerable about, because I was very nervous to let anybody hear me rap. So you just helped me like build my confidence. I'm keep going. Thank you.
Yeah, keep going. And that's the thing. I'm listening to it, and it sounds like you've been doing it for a while. How long did it take you to get your swag together and get your voice?
I was just like, just go for it. Just
Let's
dive
go for
in.
it.
You feel me? Like, and
Wow.
then if there's anybody that like everybody, all the company that I keep around me, they ain't never gonna lie to me. So
Right.
I know if it's trash, they're gonna tell me it's trash. Or if they're gonna tell, or if there's a way I can deliver it better or say it a different way, they're gonna help me to do that. So, um, yeah, I grew up listening to Biggie Smalls and Lil Kim and like like the rappers and Wu Tang and so like I've always heard it. It's not like it's a foreign thing that I've never heard before. It's just now because I'm a singer and I'm a songwriter.
Right.
I feel like rapping is the part where I was like, it's fun. It's like this is the part where I'm like, okay, I can have fun with this and like
Right.
do whatever I want because I'm not a rapper at the end of the day. But
It's dope. Yo, and the
dude,
thing
you
is,
have
it's
to
like,
drop a
yo,
rap project.
right? You might as well. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, a lot of women biggest hits. They have the R&B hook. They come in. You have the Trinas. Eve done it. A lot of people they come in. What they say? Well, what about a little freestyle? Oh, because now we all
Oh,
right. He's trying to put you on the
gonna put me
spot.
on the spot.
He
Hey,
said, "What
look,
about a freestyle?"
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't be capping to nobody. I ain't about to act like I know how to freestyle rap. Look, I just told you I just started rapping, but
Right.
I'm not about to get on here with all these people looking at me freestyling no rap. But I'm working on it. Best
All
believe.
right.
And when I do perfect it, when I do get to a point in my life where I'm able to freestyle, just know that I'm coming with it and I'm spitting bars. Like I'm not about to do no half-ass shit. Like I ain't about to be rhyming dead and red together. No, we gonna talk some
For
real
real.
stuff. We about to
All right. So I think Juice just jumped on. So yo, he might have missed it, yo. So you don't do a freestyle, but can you give him a live acapella of what you do?
Oh yeah. Shoot. Let me see. Let me think of a song. Y'all want to hear something that's already out or like one of my songs?
One of your songs. Let's do it. Let's do it like you on the stage right now. Like, what's
Okay.
your favorite song to perform?
Um. Oh, I know. Um. I don't know why they keep testing me, testing me. I can't let them get the best of me, cause I've been working on myself too long. I can't never let them get me wrong. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's me.
And that's the thing. So that's the thing. You always ready. You don't have to get ready because you stay ready.
Oh yeah, I love singing.
Wow. Yo, so that's dope right there. So I think we got the project coming. We got Belly Up now on all
Mhm.
platforms.
All platforms.
So what can the people expect after the pandemic? I know you say you got visuals and you got the singles coming. What can they expect later this year? And then what's your 5-year goal? What's 3 things you want to accomplish in the next 5 years in your career?
I want to do more traveling. I want to be able to get on more stages, and I would love to be able to do more performances outside of the state, even outside of the country. My ultimate biggest goal has been to go back to Europe and pursue my career
Wow.
there, and then maybe come back to the states. But I've always wanted to be an international artist and do music overseas. So that would be my ultimate goal. And of course, like I'm never gonna say, oh, it's a goal, it's just out there. No, that's in my next 5 years.
Right.
I'm out of here. I've been working very, very hard on myself. I've been working very, very hard on my music. And so now it's just time to put it in motion and, attack the plan and make it happen.
Yeah, and you're definitely doing that well. And the thing is with you, right? It's like you said, I'm not gonna put it out a goal like down the road. You're
Mm.
setting a deadline. I'm gonna hit it, and you're working towards it. And like I said in the beginning of the show, yo, much respect to you, much love, because yo, I see your growth. I know you put the work in. Not that I was there. When I say I know, I mean I see the results, and I know that it didn't come easy. You've been working hard. You've been
Mhm.
mastering your craft.
Mhm.
Now let's talk about you outside of the music, your brand. You help people. You're humanitarian. You empower women. You're a queen. You respect yourself at all times. You definitely have glow about you, and a definite respect, self-respect, and self-love. You touched on that in the beginning. So let me ask you, with the state of the world and everything that's going on right now, what advice would you give to the women? Because there's a lot of negativity, a lot of messages is getting pushed in the media, a lot of, even in the songs and the music, a lot of young girls, even older women that's following this stuff. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? What advice would you give them?
Um, for the grown ass women like myself,
Right.
please think about the kids. Think about the kids. Like that's very important. I'm always gonna love all my black women when it comes to anything. I don't care if you popping your booty in a strip club to make your money. I don't
Right.
care about none of that stuff. But you as a person, please just think about who you would want to see, how you would want our future to come up thinking and being. Like you have to be the change you want to see in the world.
Right.
And that's my biggest thing. Like I'm not gonna touch on what men do to like try to break us down sometimes. I'm not going to talk about that. That's not the focus. The focus for me right now is to let these women know to please just be the change you want to see in the world. So whoever that is, be that. And I'm not going to judge you for it. But if that's the way you want to see the world, the way you are, if you want to see the world, if the world was you were a reflection of the world, what is that going to look like? And just be that.
Wow. And that's real right there. So I know when you say you're not gonna go on the men and bash the men out, but yo, the same way, a lot of men they partying, they turning up. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
take an upper, take a downer at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Might bust my heart, maybe not. We'll roll the dice and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of the young kids' mentalities. Like, yo,
Yeah.
we gonna shoot you with 100 shots. We
Mm-hmm.
gang. As a positive black woman, what would you say to the men out there?
Therapy, please. Y'all get therapy, please. Like for real. Like when it comes to that gang stuff, I've been around it. I know what it's like. I've seen it with my own eyes. And that is some deep rooted stuff right there. It's deep and it goes back to our ancestors and how we move to survive. And
Right.
it's not fair the situations that we get put in as far as just how society's set up, how the whole system is set up with black folks not being able to thrive like we should. It's a little harder for us to do that than some other races. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So we find comfort in doing other things, and a lot of times that comfort comes from anger. So therapy, please seek it, and don't give up on just one therapist. If that one therapist don't work for you, find the therapy that does work for you, because sometimes talking it don't do it for them.
Right.
Sometimes there's other things in therapy that works for them. There's sound therapy, there's music therapy, there's therapy through art and writing. And that's what saved me, is writing. Therapy through writing saved my life.
Right.
So there's different avenues. There's even just working out. Going to do yoga is another form of therapy. Meditation is therapy. That's what I would tell these young men is, don't be afraid to seek therapy. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with therapy. It's just a very, very critical thing that y'all got to do. These young men out here that are killing each other, it's from anger. You don't just go take nobody's life because you're happy to do it. No, you take their life because you got some anger, you got some stuff built up in you. And therapy, being with someone that is a professional, not just talking to your homies, not just talking to mama, because mama need therapy too, guaranteed.
Right.
Healers need therapy too. The healers
Right.
need to be healed too sometimes. But go
Right.
seek professional therapy and stick with it, be consistent in it, and find what works for you, because that right there, I feel that's what our young men need. And I think that's why some of these young men are tearing women down verbally with some of the things that they say. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some things that I hear these young men talk about, and I'm like, that ain't right. Like,
Right.
that's not, I know you wouldn't feel that way if you had a little girl, or you know what I mean? I know you would feel differently if this was your little girl. You know what I mean? So it just comes from some past issues that they had, whether that's mama issues or they got their heart broken by a girl. Um, it's a trauma at the end of the day. So therapy, young man, please go look into it.
Right. And here on the Proof Podcast, I want to do a shameless plug, they call it. We actually do a trauma session. We got the
Mm,
third one coming up on what is this? April 25th at 7 o'clock. We're going to be having part 3 of trauma because, like you said, in the Black
that's
community,
amazing.
yeah,
Mm,
we have it on the show. We try and do it like every 2 weeks up there. We bring a therapist in. She goes by the name of Natalie Collier, and she's
mm.
an actual psychotherapy educator. So
That's
she comes.
amazing. Will you please tag me in that when you do
Yeah,
that? Like, I would love to share that and send it
right,
to anybody that may be interested in that. Because I'm really big on that on mental health. Like, I'm huge on that. So I
right.
would love to, love to, love to be able to share that with people that will possibly be interested in
Right.
that.
All right, so let me ask you on the air right now. So on the
Mhm.
25th, would you stop in for a few minutes? Maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes on the
I would
show?
love to. What day is the 25th? Do you
I
know?
want to say it's a Sunday.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
I want to say it's a
absolutely,
Sunday. Yeah.
absolutely.
So that'll be dope because the thing is like the reason we started, and I don't want to get off track, but the reason we started the show is because a lot of times we deal with depression, we deal with trauma, PSTD, and things like that, and we don't even know. Because in the Black community is taught, yo, man up or deal with it. And we
Right.
begin to
Be strong.
normalize these things, right? So we begin to normalize, and
Hmm.
now we start to pass this on to our kids. So like
Hmm.
even like you said, like a lot of times the parents, they never got therapy. So
Hmm.
they never dealt with certain issues, and we unnaturally or unknowingly pass these traumas on to our kids.
Right.
And now they grow up thinking it's normal, and it's like you said, like talk to a professional
Mhm,
because it will help you in a way. And it's like, and now you'll begin to notice, like, wait, this ain't normal. And
mhm,
it's like from the actual sessions that we've been doing, I begin to notice a lot of traumas in myself. Like, okay, this
mhm,
is why I react this way to certain things, or this is why I may have commitment issues, or this is why I may think this. But it's like it's caused
mhm,
by a past trauma. And sometimes you got to go back to the very beginning to deal
mhm,
with this. And I know you said you did therapy as well. So for the people
mhm,
that feel like, yo, I'm not crazy. I don't have to talk to nobody. We both know. I'm saying I talk to a therapist, you talk to a therapist. So it's not about you being crazy. But
mm-mm.
what is some of the benefits and changes that you've seen from getting therapy?
Just being able to talk and being able to express yourself without judgment is huge. That's a lot of times that's why we don't like to talk about certain things is because we feel that shame within ourselves. And when you
Right,
talk to a professional, they're going to break that down for you strategically because they went to school for this. So they're educated. They know how to talk to you about these certain things that might trigger you. So it's just being able to really peel that onion carefully, delicately, and really get to the center of everything through therapy. And that's what it's helped me to do is just really to understand a lot of the things that I was mad about were because I was mad about something else or
right,
was because of something that I'd been through in my upbringing. You know what I mean? It gets really deep when it comes to certain feelings, and this is why I say I don't hate nobody. I don't hold grudges with anybody. There may be some things that bother me still, but I'm always evolving. We're always constantly evolving, constantly. If you're not evolving, then you're literally just dying. So, and our goal always should be while we're evolving, we're is to transcend wherever that may be for you. You know, whether you're religious or not, we gotta move on somewhere. So if
right,
transcending is just everything goes black, then hey, transcend, but don't just be on here on earth living to die. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. Now that's a fact right there. And we had a question while you was breaking that one down. They said, does demographics do you think play a part in it?
That's a great question because what I can say is that I used to think so. I used to think that I needed to talk to a black woman
Right.
in order for her to understand what I'm going through. Um, but I found a therapist and she was an old white lady, blonde hair,
Wow.
the old white blonde hair lady, and she was, to me, my favorite therapist.
Wow.
Like, because I truly felt like she wasn't judging me. She never said anything about no politics. She never made me feel like she was on anybody's side but mine. She always made me feel like she was on my side. Always would say, I hear you, you're right. She would say, yeah, I you are completely valid for feeling the way you feel.
Right.
And she would just let me get it all out and talk. Like, there was never no, well, you should feel this way, or this is how you should really feel, or this is how you can do this. No, it was always just get it out. Let's hear it. Let's talk about everything. And then if it was something about a fan, say it was a friend I didn't trust, and I would be telling her
Right.
like, yo, I'm just like, I don't understand why da 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 da. She would tell me, hey, I think you just deserve a little better, and you're just starting to realize that you deserve better, and that's what I'm hearing from you. You're saying all this, and it's just sounding like you're realizing that you deserve better. So she would bring it out of me. So
Right.
personally, I can't even say that demographics has anything to do with therapy anymore, because my favorite therapist, and I've seen Black women therapists, I've seen Black men therapists, I've seen Latina women, Latinos, I've
Right.
seen Asians, I've seen so many different demographics when it came to therapy. And that little old blonde white woman was
Was
my
it-
favorite.
She was your fit, so
She was
she
dope. I could cuss with her. I could talk my street slang with her.
right.
And she might tell me, what does that mean? She might
Right.
ask me, but at the end of the day, she started catching on to the slang, and she would start using it back with me. And I was like, oh man, I like
Wow.
you.
Right. So that's the
You
thing,
cool.
being comfortable enough, finding somebody that you can be comfortable to talk to with no judgment.
Right.
All right. So we're talking about color now. We're talking about demographics. We're talking about color. The elephant in the room. I like old Haitian
Haitian
grandmas.
grandmas.
All
Okay.
right.
Hey, they gonna keep it real with you. That's for one.
They
And
gonna
my
keep it
grandma
real.
may as well be Haitian. My grandma's Korean, and
She
she
don't
don't
play.
care.
She don't play at all. What you said. I
Not
mean,
at
that's what
all.
we need, though. That's what we need. And it's like
Mhm.
the thing that I like about
Haitian
thing I
grandma.
like about your movement and what you're doing is like you're empowering women as well. So I think right now in the last couple years, I want to say we're really for 400 years, we've been suffering traumas, but
Hmm.
now it's on a whole nother scale. Now it's like you see it on your phone,
Yeah.
see it on the TV. So it's like, all right, it's an elephant in the room, but it's like in the Black community, it's like there's a target on our back. And at one
Yeah.
time it was the Black men. But then with Sandra Bland and the different people, the Breonna Taylors and stuff like that, where now it's then trickled over,
Elijah
male or
McCain.
female, is nobody safe. So what's your take on that? Being an artist, I know that you find inspiration. I know that you empower. You did a record. We're gonna jump to that. That's really like one of my top favorite songs from you. And it's
Thank you.
bigger than even why it's not even just the song, it's the meaning, it's the culture, it's the way that you captured the visual in a time where it's like I'm thinking when I first hear the song, you know how sometimes they have the suggested videos.
Yeah.
So I click it. So I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, I've been a fan, but I'm like, I'm not thinking that this is about to be you that pop up. So when the song comes on, I'm thinking, what movie is this from? What soundtrack? You know, you had The Hate You Give and all these different Black empowerment movies. What soundtrack is this on? So then I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. No. Yes. So I'm looking and I'm like, yo, so what you did was you took a moment. The world was going through some things and you made it beautiful. How do you feel about the state of America, the police killings, the brutality, racism, even the Capitol attacks and stuff like that? The differences. What's your take on this as a Black woman?
I mean, it ain't never been fair for us. No matter what shade we are. I'm yellow. I'm high yellow. And I've still experienced some really messed up situations just
Right,
because of who I am, who I was born as. Um, so the state of America, man, like I said, defund the police, man. Defund
right,
them. And I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I what I do love to see is I do love to see our people come together, and I love to see how we are educating other races to be like, yo, this is serious. Y'all see this. Y'all see this on your phone. This is a video. Nobody can make this up. This is not acted. This is it's right here. But what I will say is that we are God's chosen people.
Right. Oh, you get deep.
We've
You
been
get real.
through.
They gonna get mad at us. We gonna get blocked. Facebook about to kick us out. We got it.
Hey, but you know what? I'm not real one. I'm not one. If there's anybody that's gonna talk about it, it's gonna be me.
Right.
And we are the chosen people. And that's why we have been here and we have flourished for over 400 years, and we're gonna continue to do that.
Right.
We are the ones that are gonna change the world. And I really believe that. It's crazy that our trauma is having to be the reason why the world's going to change. But I wholeheartedly feel like that's why we are the chosen people, is because we are the ones that are going to show love. We're going to change the world. So, of course, like seeing stuff like that, it pisses me off, man. I'm here in Denver, Colorado. I actually live in Aurora, Colorado right now, where Elijah McClain was shot like less than a mile away from my house, maybe a couple miles, less than 2 miles away from my house. This man was shot, gunned down by the police, people that are supposed to protect us. And these same people that are supposed to protect us are the same people that we fear. We're scared. We don't feel protected by these people. So I say the first step is to defund them, to take away their guns. It's not fair that they use guns and that they can use guns when they feel threatened. But when we got a gun in our car because we feel like we need to protect ourselves, we become a target immediately. We might not even have a gun in our car. We might just literally have an expired tag and feel threatened when a police officer grab us the wrong way. Right. If we do that, there's a possibility of us dying that day. And every time we get stopped by the police, there is a possibility that we could die. And that right there is not fair. It's not okay. It's not cool. It's not fair at all for any of us Black folks. The little kids out there, they're looking at the police like this now because they have phones now. They're able to see the stuff, and it's almost like it's getting to where it's being desensitized because it's like we see it so much. We see it so often. There's so many people. A lot of them don't even make the news. They don't even make the headlines. But there's so many of them that die this way. And it don't be from no gang violence. It don't be from none of that they glorify on the news. It be from stuff like this, from police officers. And I've seen this with my own eyes where people are being unfairly put in handcuffs, put on the ground. When I was a little kid, when I was 13 years old was the first time I had ever had no big ass cop, man, pin me on the ground. Like I was threatening him. I didn't have no weapon. I didn't have nothing. And so it's not fair. But what I will say, like I said, is we are God's chosen people, and get therapy, stay educated, stay in the field, make sure you just protect yourself, protect your energy. You know what I mean? It's just hard. It's hard to give advice about this kind of thing because it's almost like, what the hell do we do? Right. We've been trying for so many years. You know what I mean? But this ain't where we give up. This is, man, it's hard. It's hard to it's hard because sometimes I just be like, I don't know, when kids come to me, because I'm really big on kids out here, man. So like when they come to me and they ask me questions like this, you know what I mean? I just always try to pour into them to just make sure that they stay a good person. Just be a good person, you know what I mean? And that's all I could really just say about that subject, because it's just hard for me to say anything about that. Like as far like I'm gonna always speak out, but the way I speak out is I'm gonna always make sure I empower my people. I'm gonna always encourage them to be good people and relate to their struggles and say, listen, you don't always have to be strong. It's okay not to feel strong sometimes. It's okay. We have every right in our body not to feel strong sometimes because of the situations that we're put in. But at the same time, we got to keep it going. We got to do this for our kids, our young Black kids that are watching us, seeing how we handle these things, because if you think about it, When you think about the Watts riots that happened, that was my mama's era. You know what I mean?
Right.
And me being a millennial, I'm a part of this shit that's happening right now. I was also the one that was in the streets,
Right.
marching and making sure that my voice was heard, and I was holding up the signs, and I'm also talking to these policemen, like trying to get them to understand calmly. And I'm seeing my people with their hands up, and and them on the ground, and they
I I'm gonna throw to the Black Girl Magic. Go out and come back in while I'm playing the video. Okay. Go out and come back in. We're gonna jump to Black Girl Magic.
I'll show you.
Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Little Sally walking
No,
down
we've
the
been
street.
through a lot of tragic. I got black girl magic. Don't it look fantastic? Black girl magic. Black girl magic. Black girl magic. Black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl magic. Black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl magic. Tryna get me on my focus. Tryna take me out the game. Tryna stop my grind, that's bogus. The same ain't never folded. Got the clip, I'm fully loaded. Aiming at your head with this black girl magic. No, you can't touch my hair. I'm more than just the color and the clothes I wear. Innocent men dying, police act like they don't care. We can't take me as bros, can't breathe. Black girl magic, what you mean? We've been through a lot of tragic. I got black girl magic. Don't it look fantastic? Black girl magic. Black girl magic. Black girl magic. Black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl magic. Black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl magic.
I remember sitting on the floor, get my hair combed down. Mama like, girl, please don't cry. I remember nights we ain't had nothing to eat. She was cooking up chicken and served it with fries. Street lights on like getting shy. Sunday mornings, pay them ties. Granny don't play, so please don't lie. Remember them days we was all outside, like, oh. Right foot up, left foot up, double dutch. Right foot up, left foot up, double dutch. Little Sally walking down the street. Don't get in front of me, but shawty gon' do your thing, like, do your thing. Black girl, do your thing, yeah. Do your thing. Black girl, do your thing, yeah. Do your thing. Black girl, do your thing, yeah. Little Sally walking down the street.
Black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl magic. Black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl, black girl magic.
Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Little Sally walking down the street. Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Do your thing, black girl, do your thing, yeah. Little Sally walking down the street.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you.
yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it real with you. When I first heard that record, I was so proud of you for that record because it took courage. Not only did you put out a dope song, somebody put a message, long one. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna let you take that question. You finished reading it?
Oh yeah,
All right, I'm gonna let you take that.
absolutely. Absolutely. I always said, no matter what, I'm gonna always speak out. I'm gonna always speak out. And I'm always gonna use my platform to be able to do that because that's my superpower. That's how I'm able to reach out to the world. And not only that, but music is a vibration. So you're gonna feel me. Music becomes physical after it's released. After there's a vibration that leaves your mouth, you can actually feel it in your body because our bodies are made of mostly water. So you're literally going to feel what I'm telling you. So there's
Right.
no better way to do that than through music. So I'm gonna always do that. And yeah, I absolutely do think that our community definitely should be talking about this. Shout out to Lil Baby for that because he's one of them that will talk about it. Shout out to A Meezy that's out here, Shyriko. There's a bunch of artists out here that have actually spoke on this type of thing. Trev Rich is another one that has definitely spoke out on these matters. But just me as a woman, man, I just feel like me as a woman, I needed to be able to do that, and I needed to be able to like do it in a way to where our black men felt appreciated too. Like we have always had your back. We will always have your back. It was important for me to tell the kids because that day I threw a black girl magic cookout. So the kids didn't really know that they were going to be in the video. They just
Right.
knew that they were going to come and play games. They were going to get free food. I had a sponsor, the same sponsor that the guy that sponsored this video. He's actually someone that I used to communicate a lot with because I would volunteer every year over the summer for Juneteenth, and I would go and help clean up the streets and everything like that. And the same guy that knew that I would do this every single year is the same one that funded that whole video for me. Bought all the food. I had hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, juices for the kids,
Wow.
games. And it ended up becoming so much something so much bigger because I invited these kids, and I did it purposely in the hood of Park Hill because it's one of our black neighborhoods along with the east side. But Park Hill is one of them is still one of our blackest neighborhoods, and it's
Right.
being gentrified right now. But just to see, just to be in one of the parks that is dead in the center of that neighborhood was important to me, and I didn't realize how it would just change things because I went there thinking I was going to shoot a video, and I left being able to say, wow, I taught these kids how to use their voice. I taught
Right.
these kids that it's okay to use their voice by them standing in the streets. Literally, these kids are screaming, do your thing, black girl, do your thing, do your thing. Like they're in the streets singing this. And then what happens is the whole neighborhood sees this. There's people I see outside standing on their porch looking out, looking like, what's going on? And I see white folks clapping, like, yeah, do your thing, black girl, do your thing. All of a sudden, all these little kids in the neighborhood, they come and join. They come and join the march. And after that, the homeless community, you see them stepping out like, what y'all doing? They
Right.
go over and ask, because my mom is the one that's cooking everything. You see her in the video, I'm hugging her. But my
Right.
mom is cooking. She always been like that. My mom's always taught me to make sure you take care of the kids. And she's always been that way. She's always been that one neighbor that was like the mama to everybody that would feed any hungry kid. If there's a kid that don't have nowhere to go because your mom is working at night, my mom was taking them in, making sure they was fed and they were straight and sent home safely. But that day, the homeless came out and they were like, hey, could we get some food if we help you break down? You know what we said? We said, no, you're going to get some food because we love you, black man. Here you
Right.
go.
Wow.
And that's it. So, yeah, I absolutely do think that if we did more work like that and we showed more, positive things in our visuals and through our music, it would really help. It would really definitely help bring more awareness. Black people, we rule music, man. We always been the trendsetters. We always been them ones to make the best of the best classics and inspire other artists to be who they are. So yeah, why not? Why not come out and speak out on these matters? May
Yeah.
as well.
Right. Yo, and you just answered that perfectly. And like I was saying, yo, when I seen it, it was so powerful because it's like it was needed. It came at a time where it was like, yo, like it's too much. I even heard a speaker at one of the events say, and he's positive. He tries to keep it positive, but this particular day, he was like, "I'm not okay,
Yeah.
and we got to go to work." And
Hmm.
people see it on the news, and you got to put a smile on, and you got to be professional. But it's like, I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like back to back to back to back. So it was around this time when I stumbled across the video and I played it, and as I'm listening to it, it was almost like an anthem. It was almost like a voice of hope. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm listening. And it kind of sucked me in, you know, how songs that put you in a trance kind of. And I
Yeah.
remember that day, and I listened to that song like 10 times. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm listening to the song about 10 times, and then you had the female come in and rap. And she's talking about getting her hair done, you know, with the flat iron, and y'all double dutching
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
just so nostalgic to growing up in New York City and Raleigh, places like that. But for me, it was New York at the time. My cousins out there double dutching, and it took me back to that, the innocence,
Yeah.
before you see the world for what it really was. It's like as a
Mm-hmm.
kid, you're just playing. That's what it's all about. That's, you know, your toys and your friends. That's all you're thinking about. That innocence. So it brought me
Yeah.
back. And as I'm listening and I'm listening, and like I said, your voice and your skills is A1. So definitely that was a plus. But then I'm listening to the message and I'm like, yo, Rachel's on something. She's on something. Like, yo, she's, because you got to understand, from Miss Rachel to that being my reintroduction to you, it was like, wow, wow. And it's like a voice from being like, you was kind of like the youth then
Mm-hmm.
to being like a voice
Mm-hmm.
for the youth
Mm-hmm.
and seeing your talent and seeing you using it and capture Black excellence. Yo, I've probably played that song on this show, and I'm gonna tell you to your face. I probably played that video on this show about 4 or 5 times.
Thank you.
Every time we're talking about Black culture, we're talking about uplifting the Black. That's like my theme song go to. I'm gonna tell you. So you may be mad. I've been playing your video without
Not
your
at
permission
all.
on my show.
Not at all. That's what it's there for. And
Right,
I really, I'm so happy that I've gotten such a great response from the men. The Black men
right,
are the ones that have really responded so well to this. Of course, my women are on it, but the Black men, it is so humbling to hear how grateful y'all are for that song. And like,
right,
you know, I just really wanted to express what makes us us and how proud we should be to be us. Them double Dutch nights, them things that we laugh out about, you know.
right.
Hey, when that street light come on,
You better take it home. Yeah,
you better
you're
go
right,
home.
right.
Don't
I
let her
mean,
use her voice and scream for your name and that street light is on. You know what I mean?
right,
Just them things where, you know, you think about like when mama didn't actually always have it, but she had that fried chicken. She may
right.
have been using the old oil to fry that chicken, the second day oil, but that's what made the chicken taste better, you
Make
know?
it taste better, yo. And then you even drop the
So,
French fries in there. I want my fries to even have that taste to it and
okay.
everything. So yeah, yo. But
Yeah.
the thing is, yo, I'm not sure. You don't have to reveal your age. You don't. I don't want you to reveal your age. But what I want you to know from me is like, not only are you an artist, you're a leader, yo. You're a voice. Continue to keep standing out. Continue to keep pushing the envelope, being you. Continue to be honest. The things that you said on the show, I'm transparent. There's no cap. My music is genuine. Make the songs bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are you making the songs bleed
Mm-hmm.
in your visuals, you're leaving lasting impressions. You're capturing the moments. They're almost like taking a picture. That's art. That's artistry. A lot of times it's like people put stuff out, you got to explain it. Like, well, I was trying to go this, that. Your eyesight and your vision for your projects. We done watched about 4 or 5 videos today. All of them, if BET was still around, and I'm being honest, if BET was still around, I'm talking about the good days, the 106, I'm
Yeah.
talking about all of the video soul even. I can see every one of those songs being played in the
Wow.
mix because the quality is the same. It's not like their videos here and your video brings the quality down. Your video is up there, so your eye whatever, when you're coming up with your ideas and your camera crew that you're using, you're painting the pictures and you're putting on productions. You're not even dropping singles. You're putting on productions because now, like you said, they hear the song, they fall in love with the song. Now you put the visual with it and paint the picture. But that Black Girl Magic one, like I said, why it meant so much to me because it was like a reintroduction. It was like, this girl is raw. When she grows up, she's going to be a problem. This is in the poorhouse years ago. I'm looking at you on the stage. When she gets it and she realizes, it's kind of like catching up to who you already are. It's like people's like, she's a star, but we may not know it. And I remember looking on the stage and I said, when she gets it, she's going to be a problem. You wind up growing up, life happens. You wind up moving somehow along the way. I lost touch with you. So I didn't know where the music was. But I remembered the name. I stumbled across Black Girl Magic. And I'm playing this song for my daughters. I have teenagers. And I'm playing this song like, yo, this is what it's all about. They don't know nothing about no double dutch. They don't know nothing because now everything is they on their phones. On their, that's all. So when they're watching this, I'm like, yo, see, y'all don't understand. This is what the Black community was like when I grew up.
Yeah.
We got to get back to that. Yep. So as they're watching, I'm saying, listen, because they feel like, yo, Dad can rap, but Dad he never did nothing. Because I'm Dad. It's like, yo, yeah, you rap, but no. So when they're like, yo, where is this from? And again, they're thinking, and we're thinking like, yo, this is on the soundtrack. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tell y'all, I did a song with her. She was young because they're probably like now 21, 20, 18 now. But at the time when we listening to this was like,
you do not look like you got a 21-year-old. What?
That's the industry, baby. You know how we do it.
Wow.
Nah, but I got a 20-year-old. I got, so I'm playing the song for them and I'm telling them, like, yo, I remember seeing her perform. Right. And you were the youngest one there. But it was like you had a star quality. And I'm like, yo, and they looking, Dad, you don't know her. You don't know her. And I'm like, I don't know her like that. I ain't gonna front. I'm not gonna cap. Like, yo, we used to go out and eat subs and stuff like that. But I'm like, yo, I did a show with her. So it's like from that moment, I started doing a Google search. And I'm like, yo, where is she at? Where has she been? I find you. I bring you on the platform. And I say all that to say, I salute you for becoming what I already knew you would be.
Thank you.
And this is just the beginning because life is going to keep opening doors. But I want to ask you, what inspired? I know you did the community thing for the video. You said you made the record. You was going through a breakup. What inspired this song? What gave you the inspiration to say, you know what? On this one, I'm out to do it for our culture, for our people.
Man, I'm an empath and I felt the world just hurting. I felt my people just going through it. I felt it. And I cried every time. And I felt so helpless. I was like, what can I do? What do I do? And I know we've all felt that way when we heard about, especially when, Elijah McClain.
Right.
I'm here. I live here. And this happened less than 2 miles from my house. This man was gunned down by the police.
Right.
No gun on him. No nothing. No threat. This man died. He died by the hands of the police. Not even a gun, by the hands of the police.
Right.
And I was just like, what can I do? And so I just said, hey, music, man. God gave you a gift to use your voice. And you do that through music. You have to speak to the public through your music. You have to do it. It's my duty to do that. I felt like it was my responsibility. And I didn't care about whether it was going to get lots of views. I didn't care about none of that. All I knew is I needed to be able to use my platform and my gift, my God given gift, to be able to talk about what's going on, to be able to uplift and encourage my people, to be able to let these little girls know that you're beautiful no matter what shade you are, no matter what curl pattern you got, no matter what you've been through. You are not your past. You are not your mother's past. You are not your grandmother's past. You have every right to be able to build your future in the now that you are in right now, but you got to feel good in your skin. You got to feel proud to be who you are. And that's where that song came from. It came from a sense of pride of who I am. I'm mixed. You know what I mean? My mom is Korean and black. And my dad is just light skinned. So, um, I came out to be like, I had to think back and say, there's some privileges to being lighter skin and complexion. So it's my duty to let these young, chocolate, beautiful babies know you are so beautiful and you are part of the chosen people. And it's okay for you to speak out, and it's okay for you to hurt and cry sometimes. But at the end of the day, we got to have each other's back. We can't be hating on each other. We can't be bashing each other. We can't do that no more. We have to be there for each other. And that's the Bay Gang way. You lead by example.
Yeah. And like I said, yo, you definitely doing it. You're doing it well. I tip my hat off to you, and I'm not just saying that. I really truly mean it. I truly believe in your music. Like I said, I'm very excited about your growth. Very excited about your future. And I mean this from the heart. Yo, I pray that God open every door,
Mhm.
that he continues to use you in a major way, because you're not only impacting the people around you, you're going to impact the world. And it's like, and when the only thing that's once they get exposed to the music and they exposed to stuff like this interview where they see the genuine person, your love for people, your love for the art, your love and passion for your craft, I know God will honor that, because it's people that's got all this and that's not on their mind.
Thank you. You're making
Stay
me all
focused.
emotional. I'm like, I'm trying not to cry.
Nah, don't do it. Don't, nah. But it's all right. It's all right, even though. But I want, when you leave today, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, and I really mean this. There's so many people that need to hear your voice. I don't care how dark it gets. I don't care how many people not supporting. Keep going. Keep believing in yourself. Keep empowering you. Keep meditating, because it's needed out here, because a lot of people, they don't have self-confidence, they don't have morals at this point. We need a standard, and they need an example and a voice, because we don't have a lot of leaders. But one thing about our people is, no matter how far they try to push us down, we always keep rising. So
Always.
I'm sad to hear the things that you went through, because, like, we don't know from the outside looking in. So you went through a lot yourself, but I pray and I'm glad that God has brought you through it.
Mhm.
But I'm sorry that you had to go through it, if that makes sense.
I had to go through it because I wouldn't be the person I am right now if I
Right,
didn't go through it. So I'm so thankful for it. I'm
right,
thankful for it.
right. And he'll turn your tears into blessings,
Mhm.
and he'll turn your ashes into beauty.
Mhm.
So whatever you're going through, stay in the fire, because he's refining you. He's going to use you in a major way. And always keep God first. Keep yourself focused. And know that it's people that believe in you. Even in them times being in the industry, it feels like sometimes like, yo, people not with you. And there's a lot of people
Mhm.
that come around for opportunity reasons and different things like that. But
Mhm.
I genuinely believe in you. And I'm going to be praying, because it's going to take
Thank you.
strength. It's
Thank
going
you.
to take strength, and it's going to take courage, because the industry, they don't embrace that.
Right.
They don't embrace that.
Right.
Keep going, because there's a greater reward on the other side, and there's millions of women and men that need that in the game.
Thank you. And I do want to say that I acknowledge every single one of every all y'all that are watching. I acknowledge every single one of y'all that show me love. I see it, and it's what keeps me going. And I'm so thankful that you, like, I've known you for, like, we crossed paths a long time ago, and for you to
Right.
have kept that belief in me for so long, it means so much to me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Like, this is the type of thing that reminds me that all of the money and the glitz and stuff like that doesn't matter. What matters is that I get to, like, cross paths like people with you, like you. I get to inspire many people out there. It's the people that's most important to me. So thank you so much.
Yo,
Thank
it
you.
means a
Thank you for
lot.
having
Like I
this
said,
interview.
yo, I'm telling you, this interview meant it was personal to me. It was for the people, but it was personal because it's like, yo, even we talked about DMX. One thing that I learned about DMX is like most of the people that when they spoke about him, they said DMX was the type of person he went through what he went through. But DMX, it would come on him. DMX said, "Let me pray for you." They don't know why
Yes.
he prayed. They don't know why, what happened, but it's like when he heard it or God told him pray for this person,
Hmm.
he did it right then.
Hmm.
And I believe in the time that we live in now, we don't know from day to day with COVID, with people dying left and right. I believe in giving people their flowers. Now, I don't
While they're
believe in
alive.
behind the
Amen.
scene, and I'm very big on doing it in public because a lot
Yes.
of times we compliment people in the back, but it's like we don't want to say it in public because we feel like it's gonna make us look less than.
Mm,
I'm truly proud of you.
thank
And I
you.
really mean that. I'm truly proud of you.
Hmm.
And I know that God is going to use you in a major way. I could drop dead tomorrow.
Hmm.
God forbid.
Hmm.
But I know my conscience is clear. Like I waited 10 years to tell you, you can do it. I believe in you. Because that day we had a show, we don't get to talk. You perform,
Yeah.
everybody's doing their show thing. But it's
Hmm.
like, this is one of the things I can check off. I seen it and I was like, yo, you can do it. And I finally got to do it. So not only tell you, but on the platform for you to come up here to share your gifts, share your talents, and your story. And not only did you share your story, you became vulnerable. You shared things that I didn't think you were going to talk about. I never knew that you were going to. So I thank you for that because somebody may watch that and be healed from that, or they may be inspired to go get help. I thank you for your realness. I thank you for your contributions to the game. I thank you for your authenticity. I'm trying to use big words. I'm a hood cat, so I'm up here. I'm struggling trying to pronounce them.
Hey,
But
I struggle with that one too.
right, but I definitely, want to let you know that I'm proud to keep going and that God's going to keep doing it. And like I said, I'll be praying for you. I'll be praying for your strength. And do not let the industry break you or discourage you or take, I don't want to say innocence because you're a grown woman now.
Hmm.
Don't let it take your virtue,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yes.
Don't let the industry take your virtue and keep pushing the envelope, keep inspiring. And everything that's in your heart, all your dreams, everything that you want, it'll happen, because you're doing it for the right reason. You're not doing it for a selfish purpose. You're not doing it for a selfish gain. God is gonna honor that and keep going, yo. Like, I don't want to get emotional, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But it's like I'm really a big fan of yours, and I like what you stand for. I like your music. I like the message. I like the way you carry yourself, and it's needed in the industry that we live in now. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna say salute, much love and respect, and I'm
Thank
gonna let
you.
you say your final words or your shout outs, and then after that we're gonna sign out. And then I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna show them and I'm gonna say, look, I told y'all. And then I'm gonna play the video and be like, yo, she was now y'all need to listen to what
What's
she
your
said.
girls' names?
One of them name is Our Journey, and the other one name is Alex Xavier.
Journey and
I Journey.
Alex Xavier.
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Alex Xavier.
Alex
Yeah.
Xavier
Yeah. And I Journey.
and I Journey. Alex Xavier and I Journey. Your dad is the GOAT. He the GOAT. We've no he saw me. He believed in me for a long time. I'm so glad y'all like the song. You can always reach out to me. I'm probably older than you. You can
We
always
definitely
reach out to me anytime you need anything. I got you, girls. So, and thank you so much for having me on this interview. I feel super humbled and super blessed to have someone from my hometown reach out to me about an interview. You're the first one to do that this year, so thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I want to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in, everyone that stuck with me through all my trials and tribulations, through all my music ups and the downs. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening to my music, for streaming my music, for sharing my music, my videos. Thank you for playing it around your moms, your grandmas, your friends, your aunties, your cousins, your family, at the cookouts, at the family reunions. Thank y'all so much for every single bit of support. It means so much to me. I will never sell out, and I will always rep the Bay Gang, be an example. I love y'all so much.
All right, and that's a fact right there. This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. I go by the name of Sion 919, and this is the living legend. I'm gonna gotta say it because one day y'all gonna be getting the autographs. Rachel Bailey in the building, yo, all the way from Colorado by way of North Carolina, yo. We love you on the show, yo, and we thank you.
Thank you.
And we're gonna sign off, yo. We up out of here, y'all.